Our final day of state championships. 4 teams for 2 titles on day 3 from the heart of Texas and the TAP State playoffs. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Panther Stadium here in Hewitt, Texas. Mike Leslie joined by Matt Tarbutton and Larry Thexton, and Gabe Duarte will be along in a moment here for day 3 of the TAP State Championships, a state title on the line in Division III between 13-0 Lubbock Christian and 9-4 Boerne, Geneva. 2 teams that followed very different paths, guys, over the course of this season. Lubbock Christian, arguably with an easier path. Boerne, Geneva certainly believes that they're the most battle-tested team in the state. But it's Lubbock Christian that's the number 1 team in the state of Texas in Division III after a 13-0 season.
Absolutely. Lubbock Christian, one of the Panhandle area teams, that West Texas, has really kind of played with speed, played with aggressiveness, and really done well this season. They were kind of a 6-5 team last year, kind of trying to figure out a few things, but they've obviously got all the bells and whistles going, everything clicking, and I think Coach Shoffley has them ready to play today.
Boerne, Geneva coming off a massively impressive win, Larry, against the Woodlands Christian team that was 12-0 coming into that football game. So they've got experience knocking off an undefeated team. They need to do it again today.
Yeah, 77 points against Woodlands is just impressive. But I go back to their 1-4, 1-5 start. There was no slow start. They played a schedule that would get them ready for a state championship game, and they are battle-tested. They are experienced, and they are a good football team, and I'm excited to see them play today.
Because they did follow such different paths over the course of the season, I can't help but wonder which team is more prepared for this circumstance. Lubbock Christian obviously has had an extremely successful season going 13-0, but that's what we have to figure out over the course of the next 3 hours is which one of these 2 teams is the better football team.
Yeah, and when you look at it as a coach, the thing you want to really emulate and the thing you really want to make sure is that these guys, you're going to get punched in the mouth. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to, have some issues come up, but it's how are you going to react. Football is all a game of how you react and how you respond. And so however each of these teams can do that better is probably who's going to win the game.
Let's get you our players to watch for today's football game. First for Lubbock Christian, their quarterback / wide receiver / do everything man, Alex Lack. Guys, he does a little bit of everything for this football team. He's their starter at outside linebacker. He is one of their 2 quarterbacks, and really a lot of what Lubbock Christian does is courtesy of their 2 QBs. Alex Timmons is their starter, has over 2,000 passing yards on the year and over 1,000 rushing yards, but Alex Lack, who is their starting slot wide receiver, also a dual-threat quarterback. He's got over 1,000 rushing yards on the year, has also thrown for 600-plus yards and 9 touchdowns. So there is talent at both of these quarterback positions for Lubbock Christian. Meanwhile, for Boerne, Geneva, their linebacker and running back Josh Lopez makes his biggest impact on the defensive side of the ball, but a big player to watch for Boerne, Geneva. Time for the prayer down on the field and the national anthem. Let's send it to the public address announcer.
That we do these things because Jesus Christ is Lord. Our prayer is that these young men play with that conviction, that they demonstrate fairness, that they demonstrate integrity and hard work. At the end of the day, we know one team will leave victorious and the other will leave disappointed. But ultimately, we recognize that as teams and as fans and as schools, we are on the same team. We are all united under the banner of Jesus Christ. Thank you for the efforts of all those who have put this together, those who are with TAPS, our referees, and all those men and women who work to bring these young men to this place today. With that, we now dedicate this afternoon, this game to you. We pray this in the name of Jesus Christ, our King. Amen.
Please remain standing for the presentation of colors presented today by a color guard from the Junior ROTC Battalion of Midway High School. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on this Pearl Harbor Day, let's remember and honor those who have served and those who are serving with the playing of our national anthem by the Geneva School Band under the direction of Ms. Erin Thomas.
The TAPS Division III State Championship game just minutes away here on TAPS TV. Mike Leslie, Larry Thexton, Gabe Duarte, and Matt Tarbutton here with you in the broadcast booth. Let's get you the starters for today's football game. First for the Lubbock Christian Eagles offense. We mentioned Alex Timmons, their starting quarterback. Over 2,000 passing yards on the year, 29 touchdowns through the air, another 12 touchdowns, and 1,000 yards on the ground. Caleb Coates, the running back, in the backfield with him. Braden Martin, Cash Howard, and Alex Lack, their three starting wide receivers. Zeke Lott, their starting tight end / H-back. And their offensive line left to right across the front. Carter Carruthers, Ryan Kelly, Morgan Autry, Jason Jones, and Caleb Wood. Defensively for Lubbock Christian, Josiah Malcolm, Cason Jones, and Caleb Wood, their defensive line. Alex Lack, Ryan Kelly, Zeke Lott, and Bumper Delaney. Dustin Delaney goes by Bumper, number 22. Their four linebackers, Cade Landrum, Cash Howard, Carson Leatherwood, and Jackson Smith, the four starters in the secondary. Cade Barone, the starting quarterback for Boerne Geneva. Brock Ambelang, the back in the backfield with him. Easton Myrick, Jackson Young, Joel Calderon, their three starters at the wide receiver positions. Joseph Haney, their starting tight end, as we are at midfield for the pregame coin toss. Corvin Jonas, Seth Bauer, Cade Nichols, John Henry Friesenhan, and Seth Ramsey, the offensive line starters for Boerne Geneva.
Thinking 77 points in the state semifinal, Matt, and we were watching pregame Lubbock Christian, a lot of onside kicks. They may not be thinking stops. They may be thinking, how do we steal possessions when they're working those onside kicks? That Geneva offense is definitely very, very potent. But I'm going to be curious, maybe watching the head coach for Lubbock, and if he's lining up in a certain spot, something special may be coming in special teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially with the way Geneva has scored in the past, I think you've got to really look at how many times can I get the ball, how many possessions can I get, and then also how can I keep it out of their hands. That's a huge thing here today.
Referee Jacob Blair tossing the coin at midfield. You may notice the gentleman in a wheelchair, Cole Dutton, one of the members of this Boerne Geneva football team. He's been playing with these kids, used to play with the seniors on this football team back when they were all in 5th and 6th grade. He's been a part of this program for years and always goes out for the coin toss for this Eagles football team and makes the decision as to whether they call heads or tails.
I'm going to go out on a big limb here. I'm going to predict. I'm going to tell you who's going to win this game. Eagles. Eagles going to win this game.
A strong, sturdy ledge for Larry Thexton as we've got an Eagles versus Eagles matchup here at Panther Stadium. Speaking of, we got about 3/4 of the way through our starting lineups there before the coin toss, but we'll finish that up real quick. Boerne Geneva's defense, Seth Ramsey, Travis Rattery, Zach Fly, and Easton Myrick, their defensive line. Joseph Haney, Josh Lopez, probably their best football player, Josh Lopez, that starting middle linebacker. That's their 2 linebacker set, and then a 5 defensive back set for Boerne Geneva. Josh Nate, Joel Calderon, Aiden Crystal, Ethan Valdez, and Brock Ambelang, their starting running back, also their starting strong safety. It will be the Boerne Geneva Eagles in their Navy uniforms to receive the opening kickoff today. Lubbock Christian set to kick the ball away. It'll be Zeke Lott to kick it away for Lubbock Christian.
If I'm Lubbock Christian on this first kickoff, and most likely probably defensive possession, is you've really got to make sure that you set the tone for this entire game. You don't want to have a big play given up or, a couple penalties really to give the Eagles from Geneva a chance to really start this game off. Because remember, Geneva last year lost in the state finals by 1 point to Trinity Christian of Willow Park, so they're really going to want to make sure that they get this one, with 2 trips in a row.
Both of these teams saw their 2018 seasons end via a 15-14 loss. You mentioned Boerne Geneva losing in the state title game to TC Willow Park 15-14. Lubbock Christian lost in the first round of last year's playoffs to bookend a 6-5 season against Panther Christian, also a 15-14 final. This is something to watch here right off the opening kickoff. Lubbock Christian will kick with 2 kickers, Zeke Lott and Hunter Preston, and they are prone to onside kick it with either of these two, and they will do so on the opening kickoff of this football game. Will it go 10 yards? Yes. It did indeed, and it looks like they've recovered it right at midfield. What are the officials going to rule here? A little bit of confusion amongst the players in Navy for Boerne Geneva.
If that's where the official spotted it.
Boerne Geneva pointing in their direction saying it's going to be their football. The officials pointing out at the 48. Are they trying to say that maybe the football was touched at the 48?
It looks like Lubbock touched it before it went 10 yards.
And they're going to spot the ball at the 48-yard line and give it to Boerne Geneva. So very nearly an onside kick recovery on the opening kickoff of the football game by Lubbock Christian, but the officials deem it didn't go the requisite 10 yards, and it's Boerne Geneva football on Lubbock Christian's side of the field.
Yeah, I know they're going to want to take a look at that one on film when they get home because that was very, very close. He initially spotted it right at the 50.
Cade Barone makes a read on the opening play of the game, breaks a tackle in the backfield, and somehow fights his way forward for a gain of 3 yards. That was a disaster in the backfield, and credit to Cade Barone. He saved that play.
Yeah, that was huge. He, as you said, he could have been in the dirt a couple yards behind, but he was able to, really use those strong legs of his and be able to get those extra yards.
2nd down and 7 now from the 45. They'll swing it out on the near side. Actually, a backward pass to Joel Calderon. He's probably their most talented offensive weapon, and showing a little bit of it right here across the 35 down to the 31-yard line, and a 1st down for Boerne Geneva.
Got away with a little bit of a block in the back there, but he got his hands up and said, not me, and was able to get a few extra yards on the play.
Acting matters.
It does, and that's Lubbock Christian needed to sell that onside kick better on their sideline. They needed to jump up and down like they had it.
Instead, here comes Boerne Geneva, 1st and 10 at the 31 on Lubbock Christian's side of the field. Cade Barone, the quarterback, wearing number 27. Big boy, 5'8", 205. His head coach says they call him Billy Kilmer. And he's going to carry it here on 1st and 10, pickup of about 3 and change.
Yeah, if he was a lefty, you could call him Jared Lorenzen, but
not quite the Pillsbury throw boy, but he's got some heft to him, there's no doubt, and he picks up a few yards there. Call it 2nd down and 6. He'll be in shotgun with a 4 wide receiver set. Tight end attached to the line is Joseph Haney, and he's going to look deep down the field for Joel Calderon, just a little too far.
That was a great throw, great route. Got Lubbock caught with their eyes looking at the quarterback, and the receiver ran right by him, just about a step away from a touchdown there. I'm sure the coach is going to be telling him, quit looking in the backfield. He double pumped and wide open in the end zone.
So it'll be 3rd and 6. Out of the pistol formation, Ambelang directly behind Cade Barone. Looking on the near side for Haney, tipped and caught. Does he have enough for the 1st down? Looks like not quite. It'll be 4th down and
don't move
chain
those
gang.
chains,
Yeah, the chain gang started to move, and there's no need to. That ball is short by about a half a yard.
yeah, I think I'm Boerne Geneva here. And Coach Herbert, I would say I'm probably going for it. Definitely want to start this game off right. And as we were talking about earlier before pregame, punting here, field goal is not a great situation.
No hesitation. They go for it. Ambelang over the middle, 1st down.
And the one thing that's noticeable on film and live as we see too is Geneva's front line definitely has a size advantage over this Lubbock Christian defense.
Yeah, they're going to have to use speed and slant to get off these big guys because if they get one-on-one blocked, they're not going to win a lot of battles there.
Chris Softly, the head coach from Lubbock Christian, says they're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger than we are. He said they're used to that. as they fired into the end zone just a little too far for Jackson Young. He said his Lubbock Christian team is used to that. They're undersized in every game, he said, but it is certainly going to be something they need to overcome for a 14th time this season if they want to finish off as 14-0 state champs here in Division III. Second down and 10 now as we're 1 minute and 59 seconds in to this Division III state championship game. This time Boerne with nowhere to go, and it takes the entire Lubbock Christian defense to sling him down. It'll be a loss of 2, and it'll be 3rd and long.
That was a great play by defense. I really liked how they swarmed to get to that quarterback to make the tackle, and they needed every single one of them to get that kid down. He is a tough runner.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what they do here on 3rd down. Obviously, they're going to throw it with the 5 wide, but you really got to get a quick throw here or a nice double move by one of the receivers.
5 players in the pass pattern for Boerne. Pressure in his face, trying to get away. Makes his way loose of 1, fires over the middle, complete. It'll be short of the 1st down, but he hits Easton Myrick to get down to the 12-yard line, and that'll at least make 4th down manageable. A pick up at 10, and it'll be 4th and 2.
If you're Lubbock Christian, you're really going to have to wrap him up well because he's been able to evade several tackles. Obviously, he's not the smallest guy in the world, but he's got some quick feet, so they're going to have to do a better job if they want to get him down.
So again, Boerne Geneva will go for it on 4th and short. This one a little longer than their last 4th down attempt. Bourne's going to keep it himself, lowers his shoulder across the 10, dragging tacklers, 1st down.
You know, he was made contact 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he just drove them forward for 2 yards to pick up that 1st down. That's another impressive run.
Yeah, that reminisces of the Bush push there, but obviously a little bit more legal now than it was back then. So,
and whistles before the snap and a flag behind the play on what was going to be 1st and goal from the 7, but a false start will knock it back to the 12.
Matt, I want your opinion on this. Geneva's a tempo team. They are trying to snap the ball as fast as they can, and Lubbock is running guys in and off, trying to get fresh legs. But those sprints, those 40-yard sprints on and off the field for those linemen, are they gaining the rest that they're trying to get because Boerne's snapping it so fast?
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something to watch, especially later into this game because especially being one of the smaller divisions, depth is not as what it was yesterday.
Boerne on the read, keeps it himself on 1st and goal from the 12, inside the 5. They're still pushing. Close to the goal line. Is he in? No, sir. They're going to mark him about a half a yard shy. But Cade Boerne just dragging tacklers.
That's a great play. The guard tackle pulled left, quarterback went back right. This is a great football play there, well designed.
2nd and goal, they're going to hand it off up the middle into the end zone. Josh Lopez, touchdown.
That was a great tempo play to go right there as well. You know, you almost get a touchdown. Line it up quick. Go.
They play fast. I can see now that 77 makes sense. They play fast.
They sure do. That was a great play there.
Player down in the end zone for Lubbock Christian.
Looks like number 2, I believe.
Number 2 would be Cash Howard, one of their best players offensively and defensively. Injury timeout here at Panther Stadium, and we'll take it with them. We'll be back on Taps TV.
Aiden loves playing baseball. He's in his element when he picks up a baseball bat.
When Aiden tore his ACL last year, we were all devastated. We didn't think that a 13-year-old could have a problem such as that.
Children's Health Andrews Institute for Orthopedic and Sports Medicine not only
back at Panther Stadium as Cash Howard, walking off under his own power, seems to be just fine. He's a very important player for Lubbock Christian, so they need for him to be healthy, but he's not even being attended to on the far sideline, so it looks like he'll be just fine and back out there as Lubbock Christian will have their first offensive possession here in a matter of moments, but first the extra point from Boerne Geneva after a 6-0 lead. They add to it, and it's 7-0. Ethan Valdez puts it through in Boerne Geneva with a fast start, a 48-yard drive following the onside kick that was touched just shy of the requisite 10 yards. They turn that into 7 points, and it's a good start for Boerne Geneva.
Yeah, that was a great start. They used tempo. They used quite a bit of mix of run and pass on there. Great job, especially by their quarterback, Boerne. He was able to, scramble a little bit, get some extra yardage, but also make some great throws.
I see a couple TAPS officials down on the field. They're going to have to stay close to this 7-man crew. As fast as Geneva's going, those guys are going to need some water. And man, that was impressive how fast they could line up, get a play in, and get that ball snapped. Well done by Geneva.
So now for the first time today, we'll get a chance to see the two-headed monster that is the quarterback system for Lubbock Christian, Alex Timmons and Alex Lack. Timmons, a senior, 6 foot, 170 pounds. The better thrower of the two, but both of them can throw and run. Timmons over 2,000 passing yards and 29 touchdowns on the year. Both of them over 1,000 rushing yards on the season. Lack also their starting wide receiver. It'll be Ethan Valdez to kick it off for Boerne Geneva. Jaden Bullington deep to return, and they'll squib it along the turf here. And Lubbock Christian will scoop it up at the 25, run it out to the 28, the 38-yard line.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if to counter this tempo, if Lubbock Christian tries to slow the game. Sometimes your best defense is keeping the other team's offense off the field. So I'm really curious to see the tempo that Lubbock Christian decides to play here. And they're coming out, Matt, they're coming out of a tough district. This district produced a state champion last year. Some good, well-coached football teams, so they'll be ready to play here.
Yeah, Lubbock Christian has always had a great athletic program, always in the hunt for football, volleyball, girls basketball, boys basketball, and baseball as well. They've done a great job of consistently being successful in what they do, and they're showing it here today.
Some confusion on the far sideline.
I think the refs are just trying to take a break.
Looks like they're working on the chain gang on the far sideline. We talked yesterday during the broadcast about the technology of these chains and the down and distance markers. You see the first and, at the moment, apparently the sticks are 11 yards apart. It will, of course, adjust to 1st and 10 once they get them set, but something appears to be not working properly down there on that far sideline in front of this Lubbock Christian football team. Now they've got it situated.
There they go. Yeah, it's the laser down system, so it's a laser. It's Sideline Power sells these things, and they shoots a laser, and it tells you exactly how far away you are from the chain, so you can look instantaneously and get a down and distance.
Over the middle, intended for Cash Howard, but knocked away. Nice defense by Joel Calderon, one of the best offensive players for Boerne Geneva in coverage against Cash Howard.
Yeah, that was a great move, great throw. Just got to come up with it, but we'll see what Lubbock counters with here on the next play.
Lubbock Christian in the state championship game, courtesy of a 63-32 win over Covenant Christian in the semifinals as a flag flies here on 2nd down and 10. Looks like they're about to get a free 5 yards out of the deal.
Yeah, Geneva's really jumpy there on the defensive line. They're going to have to hold their water and stay disciplined.
Boerne Geneva trying to argue that it should be a false start against Lubbock Christian. Our officiating crew discussing Jacob Blair, the crew chief today. We'll see what he has to say here.
There's no contact.
And it will be a false start.
Yeah, there's no contact made. So.
The Lubbock Christian offense, so 2nd and 10 becomes 2nd and 15 for this bunch.
Yeah, the one thing we've seen throughout these state championship games over the last 2 days is penalties. Penalties can be huge for this game.
Boerne Geneva, meanwhile, in the state title game, courtesy of that 77-45 win over the Woodlands Christian Academy that we mentioned earlier today. Back in the state title game exactly 365 days later, trying to win a title this time after a 1-point loss last year against TC Willow Park. A nice connection here on 2nd down and 15, and Lubbock Christian will move the sticks.
Yeah, that was a great catch there by number 6 for Lubbock Christian, which is going to be Evan
Timmons. That's the twin brother of the quarterback, Alex Timmons.
That's not a bad thing to have as a coach for sure.
Little twin connection. Evan Timmons is kind of the, in addition to Alex Lack, who does everything for Lubbock Christian, Evan Timmons is also that kind of player. His coach calls him the highlight reel, Chris Softly does. Says every time he touches the ball, it seems like the ball's in the end zone. He's got 12 catches this year, 5 of them for scores, as they throw it on the far side in the hands of Braden Martin, and they pick up 8 on 1st down and 10. But Evan Timmons is their guy. He said, if anybody gets hurt, everybody just looks at number 6 and assumes, okay, you're going in the game now, right? You're that next guy at every position around the field. And he said Alex Timmons, his twin brother, of course, has to know every position because he's the quarterback. That's just incumbent upon the quarterback. But he said His brother, both of them extremely smart players, by the way, has to know every position too because he actually plays every position on the football field. Nice catch there to pick up that 2nd down and 15. And now after an 8-yard pickup on 1st and 10, it's 2nd and 2 at the 41-yard line. 4 wide receiver set for Timmons. His twin brother goes in motion, and he's going to throw it that way. 1st down and a good deal more inside the 35, slung down from behind. But it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 31.
Man, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing. This is going to be maybe an offensive explosion for both teams here. Lubbock Christian, I really like the play calls. They're safe, high percentage throws, and they're just moving the ball right down the field. I don't think they've even attempted a run yet. It
would certainly make sense if we see an awful lot of offense today because Boerne Geneva scored 77 in the semis, and Lubbock Christian scored 63. They throw it on the far side, and I think he did get his hands underneath it. They say that is a catch for Braden Martin.
Heck of a catch.
Quarterback looked like he took a little bit of a shot there. He's slow to get up, and he's going to stay down. I believe that's number 10. That's Alex Timmons. So hopefully he can get back up quick because they will need him.
They do have this 2-quarterback set with he and Alex Lack, but Timmons definitely the better thrower of the two. 63% completion over the course of this season for over 2,000 yards. Lack, the better runner of the 2 quarterbacks. Completed just 47% of his passes, though, this year for 635 yards and 9 touchdowns. So if they're going to move the ball through the air, it's more commonly with Alex Timmons. Lack can throw it, but if Timmons is not able to return, which the way that he got up and walked off the field looks like he's probably just fine. But they do need him to be out on the football field to kind of keep their offense as multiple as they want it to be. It'll be 2nd down and 3 after the catch by Martin on the left side.
Yeah, Lubbock Christian coaches were a little upset with the no call there. The quarterback kept pointing to his head. It sounded like I was watching the ball downfield, but it looked like they were pretty upset. May have been some contact to the quarterback up around above the neck area, and that's a big no-no.
So Lack will take the snap here on 2nd down and 3 with 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Fires that way, and that ball, they're going to say that's a catch? They're going to say no, incomplete.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. He was caught it, brought it down a little bit, was never able to secure it and make an athletic move. So I think that was a good call by our officiating crew.
Lubbock Christian did jump on top of it just in case, but they're going to say incomplete, and it will be 3rd and 3. And after just one play, Alex Timmons, who wasn't getting any treatment or anything on the sidelines, was just standing there waiting to come back in after one play. Sure enough, back on the football field here for 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Larry, as you were saying before, I've liked this Lubbock Christian play call. They're getting these quick passes, not really taking too much time, and they're doing very well converting on these plays. But they're going to think about it a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah, you know, they've been empty, and then they brought a running back in, and looks like you were talking about how smart these Timmons kids are. He saw something that wasn't supposed to be there, and he immediately called the timeout, and they're going to go over inside and talk about it. Kids that can do things like that, speak for every head coach in the state of Texas. Those are coaches' dreams.
Yeah, according to Chris Softly, Alex Timmons had a 31 on his ACT. Said he said he knows what the coaches want on every single play, especially the ones that have multiple options where he has to read what the defense is giving them both pre-snap and post-snap. He said Timmons just understands what they're looking for and why they're looking for those things. And you saw it right there on 3rd down and about 2.5. A very important play here early on in this football game. Didn't like what he saw. Let's take a break here and talk things over midway through the first quarter.
Lubbock Christian really is spreading that field, though. They've got their guys outside the hashes trying to get a good matchup.
It's 3 wides to the bottom of the formation. They're going to have Alex Lack on the football field now and at the quarterback position. Man in motion, and they run that way with Lack trying to spread out the defense. He gets to the corner. He's got the 1st down inside the 20.
Some pretty impressive blocking on the perimeter there. Had the outside receivers blocking in and the inside receivers blocking out. And the alley was actually created about 12 yards away from where the ball was snapped. But a well-designed play. He knew exactly where to go, and he picked up the 1st down.
Good patience, too, I feel like, from Lack to allow those blocks on the edge to develop and find that alley that you're talking about. That's not easy to communicate, and that's not easy to coordinate all of those moving parts to create that running lane so far from where the football was snapped. well executed all around by Lubbock Christian. And it's a 1st and 10 situation now as Timmons comes back on the field, throws it on the far side, and a flag will come in as he tried to hit Braden Martin. Martin immediately got up looking for some laundry, and the referees oblige.
Yeah, the one thing I am liking from Lubbock Christian, though, is this 2-quarterback system. They're doing a great job, really, suiting it to their strengths. A lot of times you see, and probably more often in college and pros, people that are running 2 quarterbacks doesn't really gel well, doesn't really, help the team that much. But this system is working for Lubbock Christian.
Chris Softly said that the common conception that a lot of their opponents have is that when Timmons, number 10, the senior, is on the field, oh, we're going to throw the football. And when number 8, Alex Lack, the junior, is on the field, oh, we're going to run the ball. He said, we're just fine with that mentality because we know that both of them can do the opposite very, very well. They are going to go to the air, though, here with Timmons on 1st and goal from the 10, and in and out of the hands of Braden Martin, incomplete.
Yeah, that was a great play there by number 15 of Boerne, Geneva. That's Jackson Friesenhahn. Did a great job there, really being physical as soon as the ball was delivered to the receiver.
Friesenhahn works in coordination with Josh Nade and Joel Calderon, the 2 starting corners. He'll see an awful lot of time, the junior, working in with 2 seniors. 2nd down and goal here from right at the 10-yard stripe for this Lubbock Christian football team. Timmons looking left. Fires that way, trying to find Alex Lack. Did he hang on to it? Yes, he did, and he fights his way forward to the 4.
That was a great job there by Lack to really concentrate and bring it in because there was 3 Boerne, Geneva defenders that did not want him to catch that ball.
Yeah, it was a good play of 2 kids that absolutely trust each other because that ball was thrown before he came out of his break, and he put it right where he knew his receiver was going to be. It was a good throw catch.
So 3rd down and goal from the 4. Timmons with 4 wide receivers and a back in the backfield with him. That's his brother, Evan Timmons, saddled to his right. Looking left. Pumps, comes back to the right-hand side, fires back of the end zone, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Alex Lack, and it will be 4th and goal.
Yeah, sometimes the issue we see with some of these spread teams is once you get closer to the red zone, closer to the goal line, it's hard for them to be able to score as much because they can't stretch the field because obviously there's just not that much left.
Yeah, this is going to tell us a lot about what they really feel about Geneva here. Are they going to go for the field goal, or are they going to?
There's no field goal unit on the football field. They're going to go out a pistol on 4th down and goal from the 4. Timmons now looking back to the sideline. Caleb Coates joins him in the pistol. And now it looks like Boerne, Geneva will call timeout and think things over here before a crucial 4th down.
I think that's a good idea because if they can get this Lubbock Christian offense off the field without any points, that would be definite victory for Geneva in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, I think Coach Champion, the DC for Geneva there, was a little upset that he wasn't sure what Lubbock was going to do, and they brought some people on late, and he wanted the opportunity to sub in, and if he would have been able to do that, that would have caused a delay of game because there wasn't a lot of time left on the play clock, and he was kind of demanding his opportunity to sub to adjust to whatever they were going to do.
And also, like what both these teams are doing during the timeout, they've got every one of their kids in that huddle listening, paying attention, and being a great teammate. Great culture there by both teams.
Chris Softly, the head coach at Lubbock Christian, in his 4th year. There's a love affair very clearly between Chris Softly and this senior class. He's been with them all 4 years coming up through the program. Meanwhile, Dean Herbert, in his 6th year, he and his defensive coordinator, Nick Champion, have been there for those 6 years as they grew this program from a 6-man program to an 11-man program. Came up through the system with them since they were 6th graders. So these coaches have built, to your point, Matt, a culture that really works for each of these 2 teams. We'll see which one can be successful here on 4th down and goal from the 4. A brief jump, but they don't snap the football, and Boerne, Geneva is able to get back on the defensive side of the ball. A little trick play here. They're going to try and come around the edge, wide open in the end zone. Touchdown to Alex Lack.
That's some West Texas Tech trickeration there. Good play call.
Yep, definitely good, for Lubbock Christian. Living in Lubbock, home of Texas Tech Red Raiders, that was a great play call there. Able to get a nice dump to the receiver, which I'm not exactly sure who was.
It was Alex Lack who caught the pass, and they're going to go for 2 here. This is a team that does go for 2 very regularly. Timmons in shotgun. He'll send Lack in motion across the formation, and they'll go for it here. They throw it in his direction, and I think it got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Nice play by Easton Myrick, and it will stay 7-6. But that play for the touchdown, I don't know if we can cue up a replay for that with our crew here from Midway ISD's AV program. They had their quarterback, who eventually ended up throwing the football, catching the football, Alex Lack. He was lined up at quarterback, walked up close to the line of scrimmage, looked like he was kind of calling out an audible. They snap it in the midst of all of that to, I believe it was Caleb Coates. He pitches it back to Alex Timmons, who is on the left side of the formation, the other quarterback. Here we go. And it comes back to Timmons, and Timmons finds a wide open Alex Lack. A little trickeration from Lubbock Christian, and they find the end zone on a key 4th down and goal, and they cut the lead to 1.
No problem with them not kicking the extra point. All they got to do is convert 60% of those 2-point conversions, and that makes up for all those kicks. I like the idea. He thinks it's going to be a high-scoring game, and he's going to try to make up some points with the 2-point conversions. He just needs to now make sure that they start getting them, but just has to convert 60%, and it all works out. I like that they're innovative and looking at the numbers there.
Yeah, I asked Softly about it, and I asked him, who's your place kicker or whatever for PAT and field goal. He said, well, we have one, but we're a 2-point conversion team. And I said, why? And his response was math. He said, you convert about 52, 53% of your 2-point conversions, and it's worth more. And that onside kick goes backward. That's not going to work. Again, they will onside kick it a lot. Twice now they've had an opportunity to kick the football. Twice they've kicked onside kicks, and both times so far for Lubbock Christian it has not worked out. That one's going to give Boerne Geneva fantastic field position. Yeah,
they look great in warm-ups, Matt. They're doing a good job with them. Those are not the kicks we saw in warm-up.
No, it was not, and that's something, obviously on kickoff, you don't want to give it behind the kickoff team on it, so hopefully that won't happen again for Lubbock Christian. Hopefully they'll get it figured out. So
yeah, how do you stat that?
it was a negative 1-yard kickoff.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I can confidently tell you I've never seen that before. 1st and 10 at the 39, and Ambelang getting hit right at the line of scrimmage.
I could see it maybe on a punt, going up and then wind taking it or something like that. But kickoff, yeah, that's for sure. And I play 6-man and coach 6-man, so I've seen most of it, that's for sure.
That was a great little play there by Zeke Lott, that 6'1", 205-pound linebacker. He read it right and just delivered a load.
Team leading 168 tackles on the season coming into today. Now rolling to the right is Cade Barone and hits his man close to the sticks, a little shy. Jackson Young on the receiving end, and it'll be 3rd down and 2. It is a lot to put on your defense to try and ask them to defend a short field like this over and over again. Easy 1st down here for Brock Ambelang as they open up a big hole for him on the left-hand side. Still driving his legs inside the 25 and down to the 23. Brock Ambelang getting close to 1,000 rushing yards on the season.
Man, I really like what this Geneva offensive line is doing. They're doing a great job getting a push up front, but if that guy's still got his legs moving, they are hustling to the ball.
Ambelang, the replacement for Devin Arns, who was the running back for Boerne Geneva a year ago and really for the last 3 years. Now at the Colorado School of Mines after graduating this past June. They swing it out on the near side for Joel Calderon, and that play went nowhere.
Good form tackle there. Good form tackle by the defense. That's the way you, as a cornerbacks coach, you really want to get your guys. Get that head to the side, wrap them up, and drive them down.
9 minutes gone by, first quarter here in the Division III state championship game. As they look over the middle, they hit Calderon. Can he get loose? He stays on his feet inside the 15, inside the 10. One man to beat to the corner, touchdown.
Impressive strength there by Calderon to really keep his feet moving. Did a great job of planting his hand on the ground, keeping his balance and scoring. That was an excellent job there.
It's a pretty special football player. Not a lot of drills you can see. That's just a kid being a player. Amazing how he kept his balance and was able to accelerate out of there and go get a touchdown. Good individual play there.
22-yard touchdown pass from Cade Barone to Joel Calderon, and now they'll go for 2. An opportunity to make it a 9-point game. Coming to the near side is Barone. Now he's going to try and run for it. He's got a blocker in front, and he gets in 2 more for Boerne Geneva, and it's a 15-6 football game.
I love it when the big boy can move. This has been nice to watch. He's not afraid to run it. Obviously, a lot of times some of these bigger quarterbacks, kind of have a pretty strong arm, which obviously Boerne does. But, man, it is exciting to see him get some happy feet and ready to take off.
Yeah, Dean Herbert said when I talked to him earlier this week that he kind of fools people with his athleticism because he does look rather stocky, 5'8", 205. He's a big kid, but he can move, and he showed it right there on that two-point conversion, getting to the near side and finding pay dirt. And it's 15-6, Geneva in front.
Somebody had to show a lot of trust in him because I'm thinking 5'8", 205, you're a guard, son. You're a guard. And I know every guard over the stops I've coached wants to be a quarterback, and somebody let this kid did it, and it was a great decision.
So Geneva will kick it away. Ethan Valdez to send it from our right to left. After 2 days' worth of very strong winds here at Panther Stadium, this Saturday has proven to be rather docile by comparison. Certainly not a storyline like it was for each of the first two days. Certainly in the six-man games. Those six teams were dealing with some serious wind. Today, a rather placid first Saturday in December. They kick it on the ground again to the up back, and an awful lot of running room for Cade Landrum as he gets out across the 40. Mark him down at the 43, and now a flag on the near sideline.
It's going to go 15 more yards for Lubbock. That's Geneva, number 39, being a little too aggressive. Blocked a guy way away from the play, out of bounds.
Well, and there was also, I saw a coach getting in the face of Ethan Valdez. There was some serious frustration from two Boerne Geneva coaches with Valdez. I didn't see what he did that led to that, but the flag was thrown basically at the feet of Valdez. And then the coaches came in and kind of grabbed him by his jersey and directed him off the field rather irritatedly. We'll see what the officiating crew says here. And it is a personal foul. But it's against Lubbock Christian.
Lubbock.
Yeah, Lubbock cover guy was definitely blocking, and you want the guys to continue to play through the whistle, but once he took him past the white line on the sidelines, went a little bit too far.
Wonder if we can get another look at that. I'm not sure exactly what transpired there that led to the penalty, but it knocks Lubbock Christian back inside their own 30 after what was a nice return. 1st and 10 from the 28. Two men in motion across to the left-hand side of the formation is Coates and Lack, and it'll be a 5-wide receiver set for Timmons, firing deep over the middle into single coverage, nearly hauled in on a one-handed grab. Incomplete. Evan Timmons couldn't haul it in.
We just had a coach run out past the numbers demanding a call. Got to be careful.
Yeah, they definitely wanted a hold.
That was Coach Softly. Definitely not too happy with that lack of a call there, but you just don't want to get another penalty for your team. That would definitely hurt your chances of scoring on this drive.
That was number 25, Josh Lopez, with the coverage for Geneva.
Very clearly, Lubbock Christian's trying to spread them out as much as possible and see what kind of mismatches they can create. I think if you were to ask Chris Softly if he likes the matchup Evan Timmons on Josh Lopez, he'll probably say yes. They weren't quite able to connect, though, there on 1st and 10. Now they're going to throw it on the near side for Cash Howard. He makes the catch, sticks the ball out in the air, and tries to get to the first down sticks, and he's close. Looks like he's going to be just a hair shy as they mark it at the 38-yard line.
At the 38-yard line.
It's really close. I'm surprised they're not measuring this. And the nose of that football is right at the 38.
Yeah, I'd probably request. I'm not sure why they're not requesting a measurement right here. I'd want them to bring the chains out and take a look at it.
It'll be 3rd down and about an inch, and Timmons will be in shotgun.
Yeah, because if they run the ball and they get a tackle for a loss, they lose their opportunity to.
Yeah. Now whistles before the snap.
Looks like Lubbock Christian might be requesting that measurement.
Jacob Blair, our referee and crew chief this afternoon.
Sometimes as a coach, that's frustrating. You got coaches in the booth have our perspective. You got coaches on the sidelines. You just want them to take a look, and you've got the right to ask. And then sometimes you have to burn a timeout just to get them to do what you're asking them to do. So not sure if they're going to honor this request, but
they're not even going to – they're just going to move the sticks.
Yeah, it's a first down. Yeah. And I'm sitting here scratching my head a little bit.
I mean, it certainly looked like a first down from our vantage point. We're a little bit to the left of the 50-yard line where we stand here in the broadcast booth, which gives us a pretty darn good vantage point at where this football is in relation to the sticks. It certainly looked like a first down to us, so I've got no issue with the decision, but you would have thought if they thought it was short before, okay, just measure it. They just decide, you know what, let's just give them the first down, and they do, and it's 1st and 10, and a good thing they did because otherwise they would have been punting here from the 35 as Alex Lack had nowhere to go. Certainly the play call may have been different on 3rd down and an inch rather than 1st and 10.
That was a freshman, number 8, Sam Armstrong for the Eagle defense, wrapping him up. Great tackle.
Yeah, that was a great pursuit there by the Geneva defense. Able to get one defender on there and then 2 or 3 come to help finish it up.
Armstrong's a player that Dean Herbert is excited about. He says he may be their best wide receiver even as a freshman and an impact player, as we just saw there on defense as well. He's a big part of the future for this Eagles team in Navy. 2nd down and 12. Final minute of the first quarter here in the Division III state championship game in Taps. Pressure. Timmons over the middle. He got it off, and he hits Cash Howard downfield. 1st down as they get onto the Boerne Geneva side of the football field.
How did that ball get off? He threw that a split second before he took a big hit, and he stood in there strong and made that throw. Beautiful football play.
We've seen him a couple times now today take big hits to be able to get a throw off and completed both of them. One to Braden Martin, and that one right there to Cash Howard. And it's 1st and 10 at the 44. Timmons again with pressure in his face. He throws over top of it, deep downfield, and another great catch. This time it's his twin brother, Evan Timmons, running underneath it, one-on-one with Josh Lopez. This time they make that matchup pay off. And credit to Alex Timmons again, standing tall in the pocket as he got sandwiched in the backfield.
Yeah, that was a great play there. Able to get a nice throw to him and go up and make a play. Excellent job, excellent pitch and catch from the Eagles.
Final 3 seconds here of the first quarter. It doesn't look like they're going to get the snap off. That will be the final play of quarter number 1, and it was a good one. And Lubbock Christian will have 1st and 10 in the red zone as the start of the second quarter comes back here on TAPS TV.
I play soccer, basketball, and I run on the track team. Soccer for my high school was a lot more hard. You were playing with your friends, you were playing with your classmates, your coach was from your school as well. You had the name on the front of your jersey that meant something to you on and off the field. It made you much more committed, much more driven.
Back at Panther Stadium here in Hewitt, Texas, 15-6, Boerne Geneva with an early lead on the Lubbock Christian Eagles in the Division III state championship game. With Lubbock Christian with 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line in Geneva territory after a big pickup on a nice hookup from Alex Timmons to his twin brother Evan Timmons.
Yeah, so far it looks like Coach Champion for Geneva has basically said, you're not going to beat us on the ground. If you're going to beat us, you're going to have to do it through the air or with trick plays. They have stuffed the run for the most part. They're in some man coverage, but if you're going to move the ball, you better move it through the air, and we'll see how long Lubbock's able to do that.
Nick Champion trying to stop the offense of Emery Dudensing, the offensive coordinator for Chris Softly's Lubbock Christian team. Dudensing played his college football about a decade ago at Abilene Christian. Was an all-conference player. 1st and 10 for Timmons. Off play action. Looking deep over the middle into the end zone. Touchdown. Cash Howard.
Yeah, that was some great speed. Able to get some separation there from Howard. Howard, a great hurdler on the track as well. Definitely showing off his speed there.
A 16-yard hookup from Alex Timmons to Cash Howard. Timmons with his second touchdown pass of the day. And they'll go for 2 once again to try and cut this lead to a single point. Handoff goes to Lack. He's going to look to throw it here. Looking into the end zone. Fires incomplete. Knocked away at the last moment.
Some of these plays look like they can come from a 6-man playbook. A lot of running back passes, some motions. It's definitely something I enjoy seeing.
So the 16-yard touchdown pass gets it back to a 1-score game, but a 3-point differential courtesy of extra points. Boerne Geneva with an extra point and a 2-point conversion. Lubbock Christian has failed on each of their 2-point conversion attempts, and as a result, a 3-point differential here 6 seconds in to quarter number 2.
Yeah, going to keep track of that. They're 0 for 2 right now, and Geneva's 1 for 1. Those are a little bit of separation there. But let's see if they go try to get one of these onside kicks. Everything's okay if you can steal a possession.
The Division III championship game a year ago decided by 1 point, 15-14. Boerne Geneva lost to TC Willow Park. So yes, extra points, 2-point conversions are critical. And right now, they're the difference in the football game. Also important, being able to kick and recover onside kicks. That is a very big part of the strategy for Lubbock Christian. We've seen them fail twice so far today and give short fields to Boerne Geneva. And the Eagles and Navy have capitalized with 2 short touchdown drives, a 48-yard drive and a 39-yard drive. We'll see what Zeke Lott and Hunter Preston, the 2 kickers for Lubbock Christian, can dial up here on their 3rd attempt. They're going to kick it deep.
Yeah.
Perhaps learning, he put it on the deck. He does pick it up very quickly. Coming to the near side, a big stiff arm to get across the 30 to the 33 by Carson Leatherwood.
Yeah, this is an Urban Meyer trick. Watch where Softly goes when Lubbock Christian kicks off, and it kind of tell you what they're going to do. When he thinks they're going to onside, he's kind of hovering around the 10-yard line, getting excited, looking for it. That time he was stationed around the 35. So let's see if Geneva picks up on that. Just look where the other head coach is, and something kind of got an idea of what may be coming.
Yeah. Beg your pardon, it was Josh Nate with the kickoff return there, and back comes the Boerne Geneva offense. Cade Barone in the pistol with Brock Ambelang behind him, and Barone's going to keep it himself and pressure in the backfield immediately, and he's going to be taken down for no gain. Penetration by the defensive front from Lubbock Christian blew it up.
Yeah, I liked the play call there by Geneva. Get the line moving one way and then go counter the other, but they just weren't able to get around it quick enough to be able to make any real headway on that play.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 33. Certainly the worst starting field position so far today for Geneva School of Boerne. Ambelang back to pass on play action. Deep over the middle. He's got a man complete. First down across midfield. Jackson Young down to the 42.
Really nice throw and catch, and they are already on to the next play.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage comes Barone. This time he'll hand it off to Ambelang. Nice hole, picking his way across the 40 to the 35. A gain of 7 on 1st and 10.
I like what Ambelang did there. He was able to watch, be patient, and follow his blocks. Excellent job there by the running back.
Yeah, Seth Ramsey out in front of that, the right tackle, just doing a good job of maintaining his block and giving him a place to go.
This time Barone's going to keep it himself, hops over some traffic at his feet and very close to the sticks.
As you said before, he is deceptively athletic. He is making some plays with his feet in this Boerne Geneva offense.
Timeout called by Lubbock Christian. I beg your pardon, no, they were just signaling first down. They will call it indeed a first down. Jacob Blair resetting the sticks, and it's 1st and 10 at the 32. Again out of the pistol for Barone. Play action. Deep left sideline, got a man behind the defense, and it's in and out of the hands of Easton Myrick, incomplete.
That was a beautiful pass. Great play action fake by the quarterback. Nice toss. Those are one of those ones you wish you had back.
Myrick had an opportunity there at 6 points and just through his grasp. Would have been a sensational catch if he had hauled it in, but not quite able to squeeze it. This time it's an interception to pass too tall and picked off. Going the other way is Lubbock Christian. Big interception from Jackson Smith, the junior defensive back. And the first mistake of the day created by the Lubbock Christian defense.
Wondering if there was some miscommunication on that. There was no receiver. Both receivers had broke in, and it looks like he was throwing, anticipating somebody running a corner route there. And the only kid back there was the kid in the white jersey. Nice pick, and that's change of possession. So it makes that last onside kick. They're making up for one of them now.
Finally, Boerne had to drive the full distance of the field, and they're not able to do it. Lubbock Christian coming up with a big defensive play, and they're going to try and strike right after it deep down the sideline. What a catch! Inside the 35, Braden Martin skying to make the grab. Returning from orbit inside the 35.
Man, that was a beautiful play call. Go down and you got a quick turnover. Go try to get a good gain on this next play. That was excellent.
Braden Martin, only 5'10", 165, but able to get up and haul it in. And now Alex Timmons and company in business in Geneva territory. He's going to go deep again. And again, he's going for Martin. And again, Martin. Oh, no, it's pulled away by the defender. Intercepted. Ripped away by Josh Nate. And Geneva with the defensive answer inside the 5. And a great play by Nate to rip it away.
That was quite the turn of events there to be able to give up an interception, and then 2 plays later after one big play by Lubbock to be able to go back and get that ball and really kind of reverse your fortunes.
Beg your pardon, it was Cash Howard, the intended target, and Joel Calderon who made the interception. 6, not 5, in those Navy jerseys, and just a fantastic play by the senior defensive back. That looked like it was going to be 1st and goal for Lubbock Christian.
Howard had it. The other guy just wanted it more, just ripped it out of his arms.
So dueling interceptions, and now 1st and 10, and here comes Cade Barone up the middle. Look at Cade Barone run across the 20-yard line, and some very necessary breathing room for the Geneva offense. They'll have 1st and 10 at their own 23 now after a pickup of 20 on the play.
You're a safety. How big are those eyes getting when you see that coming at you? Oh, my goodness.
Carson Leatherwood, the starting rover for Lubbock Christian, is 5'8", 150. Same height as Cade Barone, outweighed by 55 pounds. First down carry gets him out to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and a short 6.
Yeah, I think if I would have ran those 20 yards, I probably would have needed some breathing room too. So, way to see the athletic play by the quarterback there.
Near side they come for Calderon, and he stood up right at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for 2.
Good play. Those are going to set up something bigger later on. The short flat, maybe a stop and go, but so far testing Lubbock Christian out there on the edge, and they're doing a good job of open field tackling.
So dueling interceptions from these 2 defenses, and it's back with Boerne Geneva. They've got 3rd and 3 now from the 30. Barone and company looking to the near side for the play. Herbert calls the plays for this Geneva offense. Herbert's going to keep it himself off the read. 1st down, lowers his shoulder across the 35 and drags a couple of tacklers down to the 40.
I am really liking this use of tempo by both teams. Geneva's obviously with the ball right now, lining up quickly, trying to get going, but we've seen it from Lubbock Christian as well. It's something that a lot of teams are using nowadays to see if they can get an advantage on a team.
Put it right at the 40-yard stripe. 1st and 10 for Barone out of the pistol. 3 wides to the top of the formation. Firing deep down the middle, wide open. The only reason that's not a touchdown is because he had to dive and make the catch. Jackson Young down inside the 30-yard line. If he could have kept his feet, he could have crawled into the end zone.
Yeah, on the sideline, was looking at the sideline, saw Lane Kiffin had the hands up, touchdown. He saw it open up within 2 steps. Just needed to keep his feet.
A break for Lubbock Christian's defense because that should have been a touchdown. Lowering his shoulder is Ambelang to pick up about 7 on 1st and 10 as they get down to the 23-yard line. Call it 6 on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 4. Again, the pistol here for Boerne. Play action. Going to keep it himself on the left-hand side. Fighting his way. He's got a first down. Dragging tacklers. He's still on his feet. It takes 4 guys to tackle him every single time he carries the ball.
And he does not shy away from contact either. He is willing to lower that shoulder. Obviously, he's got some feet and he can make some moves, but he is deceptively athletic and a deceptively good runner for the Eagles.
Yeah, somebody's hitting the X button because that was a nice spin move also. Good run.
He's like a fullback with an arm. 1st and 10. He's going to keep it himself again off the read. This time only 2 as the defensive front from Lubbock Christian up to the task. Chris Softly, the head coach for Lubbock Christian, said earlier this week when I was talking with him that their defensive ends are going to be crucial in this football game. They are massively undersized. Josiah Malcolm, 6 foot 165, playing defensive end, and Caleb Wood, even smaller, 5'9", 165. He said they need to use their hips and their feet. They need to be quick and evade the blocking schemes as they fire it over the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, diving grab. And Boerne Geneva finds their 3rd touchdown of the day. Easton Myrick on the receiving end, and it's 21-12.
You know, I like the resiliency of this Geneva team. They were able to come back from an interception thrown, badly overthrown, and being able to finish here, you know, get another quick turnover, and they will march down the field and get some points. Great job there by the Eagles.
Boerne to Myrick, and it's 21-12, and now they'll bring out their offense once again to go for 2 here. Boerne moving even before he caught the snap, and he's going to be stood up. Can he fight his way forward? He can't this time, and it will stay 21-12. Still a 9-point advantage, though, for Boerne Geneva, so it remains a 2-score game.
Here's another look at the touchdown.
Just a diving grab by Easton Myrick.
Great hands.
Matt, if Geneva's going to be unsure if they're going for 2 or if they're going for 1, they had lined up to kick, and then they subbed in. There was only 14 seconds on the play clock. I wonder if Coach Softly's going to catch that, and he can sub in and either force a timeout or delay of game and take the decision-making out of their hands.
Yeah, that would be a good thing for him to do. Let's see if his coach is up in the booth or one of his assistants can let him know about that, because that would be huge.
Gabe, I'm glad you brought that replay back up, because we've seen D1, D2, that D3 catch right there by that young man, as fine a football catch and throw as we've seen all weekend.
6:35 on the clock here, second quarter, 21-12.
One thing developing on the Geneva sideline, looked like Boerne came off that last play on the 2-point conversion a little gingerly.
These teams keep moving this fast. One of the unsung heroes are going to be the Water Girls for both teams, so let's give a shout-out. They're doing a great job in the state championship game, too.
Kickoff down the sideline and out of bounds. So it'll be good field position here for Lubbock Christian as they try and find an answer yet again.
And I think the one thing we need to watch, too, here during this game, especially later on, both teams, you know, having several guys that are going to go both ways. Obviously, you're going to see some substitution, especially from Lubbock Christian, try to keep their guys fresh. But if you got guys going both ways, especially skill guys, and even the bigger guys as well, that pounding, that conditioning that they're going to have to use, it's really going to wear on them. So let's see. You know, it's almost kind of a battle of wills towards the end.
Looks like they're going to make them kick it again.
Make them kick again. So mark where it was. It would have been 5 yards up from the 36. So if this works for them, they've got to get past the 36-yard line.
Matt, I believe you were saying it the other day. We were talking about this philosophy, and I think you said, I'm going to make them kick it again until they're kicking out of their own end zone, right?
That is true. That is true. You know, I don't think he's going to kick it out of the end zone again. Or, I mean, kick it, you know, out of bounds again. But, yeah, it's especially in 6-man, we got a little bit of a smaller field. So any extra yards I can get, I'll take. But I think Geneva's going to probably say, why don't we pin it right there in the middle where nobody is.
Ethan Valdez, their usual kickoff specialist, but This time they've got Charles Garcia kicking it away, and it is indeed fielded this time by Lubbock Christian, and looks like it will be beneficial for them by a factor of about 7 yards or so. Put it at the 43, and that's where Lubbock Christian will get to work.
You know, earlier I didn't think either team had a concern for field position. It may just be a situation where Geneva doesn't have a kid that can kick it deep. That's kind of what they're going to get, and that's a good call by Lubbock Christian to notice that, to pick up the extra. That's a extra 7-8 yards.
First and 10, Lubbock Christian.
First and 10 from the 43 as Alex Timmons comes back onto the football field. Already 2 touchdown passes on the day. One to Alex Lack, one to Cash Howard. But tried to find Cash Howard on his last passing attempt and had it intercepted, ripped away by Joel Calderon. This time he's going to take off and run for it. A lot of running room. First down and a little bit more down to the 44-yard line. We mentioned it before. A lot of teams assume, oh, Alex Timmons is in the game, they're going to throw the football, and vice versa with Alex Lack. No, each of these guys can do both. Timmons with over 1,000 rushing yards on the season and 12 TDs on the ground, and showing a little bit of it right there. It's first and 10 at the 44. 5 wide receivers set for him. 2 to the top of the formation, 3 to the bottom of your screen. He's going to take off and run for it again. Another called quarterback draw, and yet again a good chunk of yards, 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, they're doing a great job by really taking what Geneva's going to get them, because obviously with the way they were throwing it all over the yard earlier, Lubbock's taking what the Geneva defense will allow them to do. Geneva sits back, they're going to rush and see if they can get 5 or 6 yards every play.
3 wides to the bottom of the formation, and they motion a man out to the near side as well. They're going to throw it over this way in the hands of Caleb Coates and try and set up some blockers for him. Spun out of bounds at the 32, but that's enough for a first down.
Well-designed football play. A way to get it on the perimeter. Had a couple blockers out in front. It's a good play.
I think something that's somewhat underrated about when you run those plays is the necessity of the quarterback to be on target. It looks like an easy throw to the audience sitting at home, but that's a 30-yard throw to the sideline. You need to put that on target, and it needs to be there in a hurry to allow the timing of the play to work, to actually have it develop so that he can follow his blockers upfield. Timmons did a nice job of it there.
Absolutely, and you also have to make sure it's forward enough, too, because if you throw it backwards and that guy drops it, that's a live ball.
This time Timmons comes to the side with no wide receivers. Timmons going to take off and run for it here. Spins his way through a tackle and picks up about 6. Beg your pardon, it was Coates that came in motion, of course, across the formation. The run by Timmons, a gain of about 6. It'll be second down and a short 4.
Looks like Geneva wants to talk about something that they're not liking out there that they're seeing. Lubbock is on to something right now, spreading them out. Even when they do put it back in the backfield, they're motioning them out. So they're on to something right now. Got a good drive going.
4:59 to play here, second quarter. And, yeah, it certainly feels like Geneva needs to kind of try and figure out, okay, what are they doing to us right now, and find some sort of solution for that, because Lubbock Christian has just chunked the football down the field with relative ease on this drive and now face second down and 4 from the 26. A 13-0 state power in Lubbock Christian, 4-0 in Division III District 1, taking on a Boerne Geneva team that's 9-4 on the year, maybe the most battle-tested team in the entire state for the Division III state championship here on TAPS TV. Mike Leslie, along with Matt Tarbutton, Larry Thexton, and Gabe Duarte here with us in the booth. Gabe, we missed you there for most of the first quarter. We were wondering what happened to you.
You didn't know there was fried chicken downstairs?
If it's still
That's
there,
a man with priorities.
You had me at fried chicken.
Back out of the timeout. Here comes Timmons in shotgun once again. Back to his right, it's Coates and 3 wide receivers. Zeke Lott, their big tight end, attached to the line on the left-hand side as Timmons looks to the sideline for the play.
Brought an extra linebacker into the box trying to stop the run here.
Facing a 4-3 set, and he runs play action here, looking deep down the right sideline toward the pylon, into the end zone, touchdown. Alex Lack makes the grab.
Hey, the senior told him, I'm open. He had his hand up, throw the ball, I'm open. And he ran it down. Nice play.
There were 2 defenders over there for Boerne Geneva, neither of them in position to make the play. He was wide open despite having 2 defenders assigned to him on that side of the field. $23 yards on the touchdown hookup, and with 4:52 on the clock here in the second quarter, it is back down to a 3-point game, 21-18, and again, Lubbock Christian will go for 2. Timmons with his 3rd touchdown pass of the day, and he's going to look for more here out of shotgun. They run a man in motion across the formation. It's Coates. He's looking that way, fires into the end zone, and it's incomplete, and he's hit hard at the end of the play over the head of Braden Martin, and it will stay a 3-point game.
Matt, a little interesting there. It looked like he had jersey and kind of had just had him stopped. You can make contact with him 5 yards, but when the ball's in the air, you're not allowed to have your hands on him. And I thought the Geneva defender there just kind of just kept battling him, and the ball just went flying right by.
Yeah, I think the referees are, especially nowadays, looking for separation for that wide receiver. And if he just kind of sits, probably not going to call it. But yeah, that was a little interesting few seconds there. Be interested to see. Especially with Boerne here on the Geneva sideline, looking a little gingerly, trying to get loose. See if he's able to run as much on this next possession, because that's been a key point for them, especially in this first half.
Boerne, number 27, the quarterback in navy for Boerne Geneva, standing at the 43-yard line. Trying to make sure that he's ready to rock here for this next possession. Came up a little bit gimpy after the touchdown pass to make it 21-12 when he hit Easton Myrick. Got a little handshake there from his left guard, Seth Bauer, before the kickoff, and looks like he'll be able to come back on the field. But to your point, Matt, the question is what will his effectiveness be? What will his agility be?
All right, so let's see if we can find Coach Softly.
Yeah, Matt, they've got him outnumbered. If they get a good
50.
Yeah, if they get a good kick here, they got a chance.
5 to the right side of the formation, 4 to the near side left, and it will be Zeke Lott to kick it deep once again. Ball checks up at the 25. For a moment it was a little squirrely, but they do jump on top of it and bring it back out to the 35 in the hands of Josh Nate. And here comes Cade Boerne.
So in this day and age of technology, we've got TV listeners getting their information to the coaches down there, because I thought onside kick was coming.
21-18. Again, the difference in the football game right now is extra point conversions, whether it be 2-point tries for Lubbock Christian. They've tried 3 times and failed all 3 times. 1 extra point from Boerne Geneva and 1 2-point conversion that was successful. And as a result, it's 21-18 here in the final 5 minutes of quarter number 2.
Like what Coach Herbert is calling on offense here, he's getting his lineman or even his tight end pulling across and really setting the edge for their running back. That's great play calling.
Yeah, and that running back did a great job just to stay patient, stay behind Jonas, and let him get his blocks. And
ball's loose, and it's scooped up and picked up by the offensive line. Cade Nichols has got it, and he's still running across midfield. That ball popped loose of Cade Boerne. He put it in the belly of Brock Ambelang, pulled it out and tried to run with it, had enough for the first down, and then had it popped out from behind, and it just bounced around right into the waiting arms of Cade Nichols, and he runs for the first down across midfield.
Something I noticed about the Liberty Christian defense on the last drive, they seem to be placing a big emphasis on trying to knock the ball out. They're going for the ball rather than wrapping up.
In a second look at the play here as they snap it on 1st and 10, and Bourne's going to keep it himself, lowers his shoulder, and maybe gains about 2. I wonder if after this play now, could we maybe get another look at the fumble, if there's an angle that shows where that ball popped loose. That's a dream for Cade Nichols, seeing the ball bouncing in midair, and he just snatched it. The senior center for the Geneva Eagles.
Yeah, Geneva sideline. Thank goodness. Lubbock sideline. Oh, my.
2nd down and 8 now after the short run from Boerne. He's going to throw it this time. Complete on the far side. 1st down. Wide open on the comeback route is Easton Myrick, and they move the sticks.
Geneva once again using this tempo, getting set up. I haven't seen a lot of these teams huddle up. I know sometimes coaches prefer to huddle up, but both of these teams are, ready just to get it going.
Ambelang gets the handoff as they hustle back to the line once again on 1st and 10 and spins his way for maybe a foot. They move the down marker, but only just barely. And it'll be second down and call it a short 10.
Yeah, we're winding down here. If they can get a stop going into halftime and they get the ball back, start second half, this could be huge.
Lubbock Christian does get the football first to start quarter number 3. 2:38 and moving second quarter. Barone looking near side, firing that way, tipped away. It was almost kicked away as Jackson Young left to try and make the grab. Geneva's got 1 timeout left. Lubbock Christian with 2 remaining. If Lubbock Christian can make a stop here on 3rd down and 10, probably 4 down territory, you would imagine, with the ball sitting at the 36-yard line, so they may need to get, of course, 2 stops to get the football back, but roughly 2 minutes on the clock and 2 timeouts to work with the offense that they run. That's an awful lot of time. They need to get a stop here defensively, though, first on 3rd down and 10. Barone back to pass. They set up the screen for Ambelang. Blockers in front of him. Cuts across the 35 and then met by Zeke Lott's shoulder at the 32-yard line.
That hurt all the way up here. That was a big hit.
A great job by number 5, Carson Leatherwood, to slow him down, and he got him right in position for Lott to come in, and here it is. Bam.
Yeah, that's one of the things, really, when you're running a screen pass, you want to get those linemen up there, get them turned and get them going. It's a lot easier, the defensive player, if they're not moving, to be able to get past him. And obviously, you see Claude was able to get past him and lower the boom, as they say.
And that's going to bring up 4th down and 5 now. Perhaps a long 5. The first down marker just a hair inside the 26-yard line, and the ball sits right at the 31. So they got to get 5 and a little bit more to pick up the first down here on 4th.
Geneva hadn't done this a lot. They've only done it 1 time on this drive. I wanted to say something about it, but they actually ran it right as I was going to speak on it. But they've done a lot of, option look, read option, a lot of direct passes, but they hadn't done a lot of RPO yet. And with the way that the quarterback's been running, I thought that was a good thing to do. They obviously dropped it on that play, but let's see if they go back to it.
2:17 on the clock, second quarter, and they're going to go for it here on 4th and 5. Barone out of the pistol. 2 wides to the top of the formation. Looking deep over the middle, going to try and run for it. Breaks the first tackle, dives forward. He's going to be short. Lubbock Christian's defense grabs an ankle and hangs on for dear life. And the Eagles in white with a big defensive stop. 2:10 on the clock, and they take the football back.
As a coach, you don't always want those shoestring tackles, but that's, able to get that one shoestring and able to bring him down, and great job there. Let's see if they can get some points on the board before they head back inside.
Number 7, Caleb Coates, coming up big for the defense. And Liberty Christian's in business.
So 2 timeouts, beg your pardon, 1 timeout left now for Lubbock Christian after they called one just a few moments ago. But 2 minutes and 10 seconds, an eternity to work with for this offense. They trail by 3, but an opportunity to change that. And again, they get the football to start half number 2. So a big chance here for Lubbock Christian. Timmons over the middle, wide open is Caleb Coates, and looking him across midfield. Coates in a foot race. Up the right sideline and finally dragged down inside the 15. Flag comes in behind it. I don't know if that's going to be on the block by one of the wide receivers or if that's on the tackle, perhaps a face mask. We'll see what the officiating crew has to say here. But a big play up the middle of the field to Caleb Coates, who had no defender anywhere near him.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play. They've been running a lot of those bubble screens there to the sideline, but they faked the bubble screen, threw it down the middle. Great play call there by Lubbock Christian.
Jacob Blair and his officiating crew discussing the flag that sits at the 21-yard line.
Matt, you're exactly right. They pursued it like it was the bubble screen and went flying after it.
They picked the flag up. No flag on the play, according to Jacob Blair, so the play will stand as it developed, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. We said that there was 2 minutes and change on the clock and that was plenty for Alex Timmons and company, very clearly, because now they're in the red zone with a $1:48 and moving here in the first half as they wind the clock once they set the football, and we're back in play now. Timmons out of the huddle, beg your pardon. It's going to be Lack this time at quarterback. Hands it off, and this looks like a little fake. Yeah, they're going to bring it around the next side with Braden Martin. He's looking to throw into the end zone. They've got a man open. He overshot him. He overshot him by about a yard. It was developed well. It was slow developing, but it did come together for Lubbock Christian. And the pass from Braden Martin just a bit too tall.
That's once again, kind of talked about it earlier in the game. A lot of times these spread teams are so used to operating in space. When you get backed up, or not backed up, but when you get so close to your end zone, sometimes you run out of space. And obviously I thought that one was run pretty well, but just, you got a guy throwing the ball, which, sometimes, obviously with their 2-quarterback system, it can be their guy, but sometimes it's not. And he's not always used to throwing it off the run.
So 2nd and 10 as Timmons comes back on the field at quarterback, throws on the near side, in and out of the hands, and that was dangerous for a moment. Was out there for the taking for the Geneva defense. His twin brother Evan couldn't hang on to it, and it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 13.
And my first thought is, Coach Champion, did you get any sleep this week trying to prepare for all this? Lubbock is throwing everything out there. Lots of double reverse passes, halfback passes. I feel you, Coach Champion, staying up watching probably tons of huddle film trying to get a read on some of this stuff, but you got your work cut out for you.
Final 79 seconds here of the first half, and Champions defense trying to get a big stop here on 3rd and 10. Over the middle, into the end zone. Oh, my goodness, through the hands of Braden Martin. A ball that absolutely had to be caught right at the goal line. Out of the hands of Braden Martin, and it'll be 4th and 10.
That's a tough one because there's still enough time. Geneva gets the ball back that they can march down the field and score.
That's another one like the one we saw in the first quarter. You're just like, oh, I can't believe that happened, because if he would have caught that, gone up a score, gone to halftime.
Instead, they're going to come out and try a 30-yard field goal with a freshman kicker, Will Hawley, a team that doesn't kick many extra points, often goes for 2. They come out with a apparently straight line kicker, freshman Hawley, and it's no good, wide to the left from 30 yards. A disappointing finish to that drive for Lubbock Christian.
Yeah, that's tough. I had the touchdown to play before. Matt, I don't remember last time I saw a straight-on kicker like that.
It's like Tom Dempsey out there.
That's exactly what it looked like. But you know what? They rolled the freshman out there and gave him a chance, and it wasn't that far off. So if they get another opportunity later in the game, do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously with straight-line kicker trying to get to the middle of the field is better, but that wasn't a terrible decision at all. I would have done the same thing.
The real frustration, I'm sure, for Chris Softly is the drop on 3rd and 10. That should have been 6 points, and it should have been a Lubbock Christian lead. Instead, 21-18, they trail, and they're going to throw it on the near side over the head of the intended target and out of bounds. They tried to hit Joel Calderon. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Cade Barone and company.
Yeah, this Barone is fun to watch. Run, pass, he is fun to watch. And he's just a junior. This has been a weekend of junior quarterbacks. Fun to watch. A bright future for a lot of these teams as the kids move into their senior year.
A lot of kids we may see right back here next year as he throws it on the far side, this time complete for Easton Myrick right at the sticks. Looks like that will be enough for a first down. 59 seconds here, first half. 1 timeout left for Geneva. It'll pause for the moment while they set the football and line up the sticks. Now it's back ticking as they get back into the pistol formation. Barone handoff up the middle for Ambelang. Beg your pardon, that's Josh Lopez. Head of steam across the 40 and out to the 43.
Matt, I'm not sure why that kid doesn't have 20 touches already the way he runs.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, really. These running backs for Geneva are extremely disciplined, following their blocks, keeping their legs moving. They're doing a great job.
36 seconds now as Barone looking deep up the left sideline into double coverage and incomplete. He had a man behind the defense. Easton Myra couldn't haul it in.
Got the whole sideline, not sideline. Let me repeat that. We got the whole bleacher section over here up with their right hand trying to throw some laundry in the air, wanting the pass interference call.
No flag flies. It'll be 2nd and 10. Ball at the 44 on Geneva's side of the field. 31 seconds now on the clock. They do still have that 1 timeout. They'll throw it on the near side in the hands of Jackson Young. Try and set up the screen. He's got a lot of running room. Cross midfield inside the 40. Makes a man miss down to the 30-yard line. Slung down out of bounds, and they will indeed throw the flag on Cash Howard as he threw him to the ground a few yards out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 15 after they assess the penalty here.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, you never want any extra laundry after the play or anything like that off the side of the field. But the problem is a lot of times it happens in front of the other team's bench, and so they're going crazy. You know, not saying it influences the call, but, you know, it's just not a great place to do it.
That was a tale of two bad tackles, the one that wasn't made and the one that was made out of bounds.
The penalty on Howard, the 6'2 senior. Really one of the leaders of this football team, no doubt. One of the captains for Lubbock Christian. But a costly penalty there as that sets up Geneva with 1st and 10 at the 15. 22 seconds to work with. And now Lubbock Christian will call timeout as Chris Softly, I think, feeling a little bit, this game teetering a little bit on him here late in this first half, wanting to kind of regroup his team and try and attack these final 22 seconds with a common mission here.
You know, Matt, watching Geneva on film, you don't get a feel with how fast that they're going. It's almost like, you know, people ask, what's your 2-minute offense? Geneva, this is their 12-minute. I mean, they just do the same thing. There has been no change. They're just fast.
Well, and as we talked about earlier, especially with the depth that some of these teams have, I mean, this is our, you know, second smallest division in 11-man, and several of these guys are going both ways, and so they're trying to catch them, catching their breath, or, you know, trying to really run them down, because in the second half then they can kind of impose their will. So I'm really interested to see the, probably the last 15 minutes or so of this ball game and see how these two teams can continue to fight.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Geneva at the 15, 22 seconds left. And again, they do still have their one timeout remaining. 3 wides for Cade Barone. Josh Lopez in the backfield with him, and Lopez will get the handoff off left guard. Running room, spinning, inside the 5. Touchdown, Josh Lopez.
Did you see how he finished that run? I think he knocked the young man 5 yards back. Man, what a powerful runner.
Yeah, Lopez was one of our players to watch for this game, and he has been a player to watch for sure. Strong on the offensive side, excellent cover on the defensive side. He's definitely doing it well.
Fellas, it was only a couple minutes ago that we were talking about Lubbock Christian trying to kind of create a double possession opportunity late in this first half. Instead, they're not able to convert on that 3rd and 10 throw over the middle. They missed the field goal, and right down the field goes Geneva. And with 15 seconds left here in the first half, they've opened up yet again a 2-score lead, 27-18 as it stands right now. And a chance to add to it here. Looks like they're going to go for, trying to figure out if they're going to go for 2 again or if they're going to kick the extra point. They do have Ethan Valdez, their kicker, out on the football field, so it looks like they'll go for 1 and try and make it a 10-point game here at halftime. I don't mean to trample on him, but the penalty on Howard, it came back to haunt him there. You give him a free 15 in that situation with very little time on the clock. It's a big difference being on the 15 as compared to the 30 with 22 seconds to play. Extra point from Valdez is up and through, and it is indeed a 10-point margin here with 15 seconds left to play in the first half. Just a crucial penalty, what was already a big play for Geneva up this near sideline in the hands of Jackson Young on the wide receiver screen. Add insult to injury with the penalty, and it leads to the touchdown run from Josh Lopez from 15 yards out, and Geneva with a 2-score lead.
Yeah, this Geneva offense is good enough that they do not need any help from the Lubbock Christian players. They're moving the ball well.
Certainly not out of hand yet, but if you look back at the last minute and a half or so of gameplay, I mean, how aggravated do you have to be if you're on the Lubbock Christian coaching staff? You had the drop touchdown, the missed field goal, and then you're thinking, okay, if we can just hang on and get out of the half, for what was it at that point, just over a minute. And Bernie Geneva said, no, sir. They're in control and looking to get the ball back in the second half.
So Geneva will kick it away here with 15 seconds left. Matt, as you noted earlier, they haven't been kicking it terribly deep. I'm not sure that with 15 seconds left, Lubbock Christian has much time to do anything with it.
Well,
this is an interesting kickoff formation.
Well, I wouldn't be Wouldn't be surprised to see Lubbock Christian come out with the trick play, though, because they've run enough of them already. I mean, they've got some – obviously two guys that can throw the ball and play little receiver too, so we might see maybe a bubble screen with a double throw, see if they can get a quick score off this play.
Kickoff straight up the middle of the field and bounding inside the 20. Tough kickoff to field. Finally is picked up by Jaden Bullington, but nowhere for him to go. And inside the 20-yard line with 10 seconds remaining is what Alex Timmons and company deal with here late in the first half. There's a player down at the 31.
Hey, you're on the football field. You got pads on. You got to protect yourself. Everything about that play was legal. 44 went out and made a big block. He doesn't know what's happening behind him.
That was a good kick there by Geneva. They were able to, it was almost kind of just a straight, not a whole lot of spin on it, not a whole lot of end over end, but it just kind of sit there, took a beautiful bounce to the outside. That was a good kick there by the young kicker from Geneva.
Ethan Valdez was the one who took the big hit. I don't know if we can get another look at what happened there. Certainly the Geneva coaching staff was not happy that there was no flag thrown there. Needless to say, the Geneva fans less happy. But no flag, and we'll see what Timmons and company do here with 4 wides with 10 seconds remaining in the half.
There it is.
They tried to set up the hook and ladder, and he dropped it.
And it was there.
And it's Braden Martin who let it go through his hands. It's been a tough last few minutes for the senior wearing number 1 in white.
Yeah, I was a little surprised the coverage wasn't a little softer because it was there.
Yeah, they've definitely got some trick plays. Obviously you practice them. I wouldn't say quite a bit, but you definitely practice them every week during your season, and they are really using them and can't really leave them anymore. So might as well get them done in the last game.
6 seconds left, and we'll see what they try here. He's got Cash Howard open over the middle, can't quite connect, and that will be the final play of half number 1. 28-18, Boerne Geneva scoring in the final minute of this second quarter. And they'll take a 10-point lead to the halftime break. Cade Barone involved in 2 of those 4 touchdowns. Josh Lopez with the other 2 touchdowns. And it's 28-18. Geneva, the Eagles in navy, leading Lubbock Christian, the Eagles in white here in the Division III state championship game. Fellas, your thoughts on what we've seen through one half of play?
I think what I like from Boerne Geneva is obviously able to run and throw, very strong in the offensive line, very strong in the pass game as well. But I think the thing that I'm really enjoying from both these teams is they're leaving it all out on the field. They're really hustling. They're really trying to get it done. Obviously, Lubbock Christian being very creative in some of their play calling and making some huge plays. What they're going to have to do in this second half is really clean it up. Really, take their team in at halftime. Guys, just calm down. We're only down how many, about 7 points?
Down 10.
Down 10, sorry. It's a little hard to see with the sun here, but, you're only down 10 points. We've shot ourselves in the foot a couple times. Let's just clean it up, calm ourselves down, and let's take care of business like we know how to.
Really entertaining game so far. Both teams showing the ability to move the ball, so it should be a very exciting second half.
Yeah, they've shown they've got the ability to give it to 25 and let him take over if they want to. It's up to them. They've done a good job of getting a bunch of different kids involved and making that Lubbock Christian defense run sideline to sideline. So maybe the game plan is to wear them out and then let 25 finish this thing. But Lubbock can't dwell on the what-ifs. They just got to come out and play football. Sometimes as coaches, we can get stuck. If we would have done this in the first half, if. He's got to start talking about the second half, how to get back in this game.
Alex Timmons with 3 first-half touchdown passes for Lubbock Christian, but not enough to overcome 28 points from Boerne Geneva in the first half. 28-10 our score through 24 minutes. Halftime here at Panther Stadium, and time for a halftime show. First up, the Lubbock Christian cheerleaders. And we'll be back in a couple minutes here to analyze what we saw in the first half here on TAPS TV.
Here again, once again, for the Lubbock Christian Eagle cheerleaders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, performing from the stands this afternoon, I'd like you to welcome the Lubbock Christian Eagle Band. They are under the direction of Mr. Charlie Parrish, and the drum majors are Connor Crossnow and Evan Timmons. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for the Lubbock Christian Eagle Band. Continuing with our halftime show, this time we'd like to please welcome to the field the Geneva School Eagles varsity cheerleading team. They are the 2019 CAPS Division II state champions. They are coached by Amber Jonas and Lauren Whitney and led by senior captains Natalia Pedraza and Corley Petrie. Gentlemen, your Division II state champion cheerleading team, the Geneva Eagles varsity cheer squad. And this time, ladies and gentlemen, taking the field is the Geneva Eagle Band. The Eagle Band is directed by Aaron Thomas, with drum majors Dawson Kate, Brandon Strickland, and head drum major Emma DeVries. Drum major, is your band ready? You have the field.
Nice performances all around here at Panther Stadium at halftime. Now time for a couple interviews that were taped pregame with our man Gabe Duarte with some dignitaries from each of the respective schools here at the TAPS Division III State Championship game.
Gabe Duarte here, TAPS TV and radio. We are on the sidelines just moments before the game, and we've got a special guest with us here from Geneva School of Boerne. Introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Hi, my name is Eric Corbin. I'm the athletic director at Geneva School of Boerne.
Terrific. And tell us a little bit about Geneva School.
Well, Geneva, we're a 4A school on the northwest side of San Antonio, and Geneva's been around since 1999. We're actually celebrating our 20th year this year, and we're a classical Christian school, and so classical education is a big part of who we are, and so is pride in our athletics.
And tell us what it's like for you and your fan base to be here today.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's just a completely beautiful, gorgeous day. We were here in this game on this day last year. It was raining, it was cold, it was lightning, and our team went through some heartache. And so it's just been a special year, a special group of guys who started the day, the first Monday after that loss, and have been battling for 365 days, and they're back here. And they couldn't be prouder of themselves, their coaches, and just what they've done and how they've represented themselves and how they've represented Geneva. So we are just praying for a fantastic day, and it's a special day for Geneva to be back here. A special day for everything that's meant and all that work ethic they brought.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. Best of luck today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Back to you. Gabe Duarte here, TAPS TV and radio. We are on the field just moments before kickoff, and I've got a special guest with me here from Lubbock Christian School. Introduce yourself for our audience, please.
Sure, Gabe. I'm Ty Rogers, and I'm president of Lubbock Christian School.
Terrific. Tell us a little bit about Lubbock Christian.
So we were founded in Lubbock, Texas in 1958. And we are a faith-based Christian education institution, and with just a rich tradition and history of athletics and fine academics, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful place out in West Texas.
Sounds great. What's it like for you guys to be here today?
Oh, we're fired up. We're so excited. These kids have played obviously well all year and really overachieved, beat teams that are bigger and stronger than them consistently, but they're such a unique group, and the Christ-centered culture that Coach Softly and his group has established is second to none. It's amazing to watch him play and compete.
Undefeated season, a lot of success. Best of luck to you guys today.
Thank you, Gabe. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
Back to you.
The Midway Booster Club, it's a great way to say thanks to the folks here at the
Aiden loves playing baseball. He's in his element when he picks up a baseball bat.
When Aiden tore his ACL last year, we were all devastated. We didn't think that a 13-year-old could have a problem such as that.
Children's Health Andrews Institute for Orthopedic and Sports Medicine not only repaired Aiden's ACL, but they gave him the knowledge and skills to prevent any future injuries.
Now, less than a year later, he's back to hitting homers and doing phenomenal.
"60 seconds till half number 2 here from Panther Stadium, 28-18. Geneva leading Lubbock Christian by 10 points even after one half of play. Josh Lopez with 2 touchdown runs, bookending the scoring for Boerne Geneva. Cade Barone with 2 touchdown passes in between that. One to Joel Calderon, one to Easton Myrick. Those are the 28 points on the board for Boerne Geneva. Lubbock Christian with 3 Alex Timmons touchdown passes. First to Alex Lack, then to Cash Howard, then another to Alex Lack. 21-18 at that point. The late score, though, in the first half from Boerne Geneva from Josh Lopez from 15 yards out makes it 28-18. As we are just about ready for second half action here from Panther Stadium. Mike Leslie joined by Larry Thexton and Gabe Duarte. Matt Tarbutton will be back in just a moment here, and we're just about ready, fellas, for second half action.
Yeah, I think it's really simple, the game plans here. If I was down there on the sideline, if I'm Geneva, I'm going to give them a big dose of Barone and Lopez. Just feed both those guys. And then for Lubbock Christian, don't change from what you're doing. Keep being innovative. Keep the trick plays coming. Keep trying to do everything you can to keep Geneva guessing. But both teams still, this game's wide open.
Yeah, that's right. Lubbock Christian needs to remember that they were what should have been touchdown away from this being a 3-point game, and it went in and out of the hands of the receiver. So they got to put that past them, the mistake anyway. But remember, they should be in this game much closer, and they certainly have the ability to stay with this Boerne team.
I think you could make a pretty strong argument that they're one drop at the goal line away from leading at halftime. Because if they had scored there, it may have been a different final minute of that second quarter. But credit to Boerne Geneva, they took advantage, and they lead by 10 as we start here in half number 2. Bullington on the return. Gets out across the 20 to the 23 is where they'll mark him down. And back comes Alex Timmons and company, trailing by 10 now and trying to start this third quarter well.
Yeah, you watch that. Simple enough, kickoff return. But that's a mistake right there. They let that ball go over the head, and he had to go back and pick it up and then run. They need to do a better job of kind of identifying where this kid can kick it and make sure that their guy's deep enough to receive it so they can get a decent return.
They certainly thought in the first half, based off of what we had seen from Boerne Geneva, that they weren't going to be able to kick it deep. That one certainly, though, went over the head. They're fortunate that their field position ended up okay, and Alex Lack in at quarterback for the first play of this drive and helping that field position substantially with a first down run of 11 yards, and they're out to the 34.
Some great perimeter blocking there. Geneva just could not get off the blocks, and the receivers for Lubbock just stuck with them, and that was a nice, just easy big run right around the right side.
Lack on the year, over 1,000 yards rushing. Last year, as a sophomore, had 800-plus yards passing, 800-plus rushing, 800-plus receiving. a major, major threat for this football team in every facet of the game, and he's on the field at quarterback for each of the first 2 plays. Now here comes Timmons back on the field for 2nd down and 8 after he gains about 1.5 yards.
Really nice fill by the Geneva linebackers there to make that play. Lubbock pulled a guard and had a lead block, and they met it head on, got off the block there inside, and made play. Good job, Geneva.
Ball sits at the 36 as Timmons is in there, a quarterback now in shotgun. Motion man across the formation is Coates. Firing it wide open over the middle for Evan Timmons up the seam. Cut back to make a man miss inside the 25. Cuts again inside the 15. Evan Timmons, creative down the field. And inside the 15 to the 11-yard line, another big pickup by the Twins.
What a play, 60-plus yards or so.
1st and 10 from the 11. And now whistles before the snap. They hadn't even set the down and distance markers yet. And Bernie Geneva going to call a timeout before they give up a quick score here. Just 1 minute and 9 seconds in to quarter number 2. See if we can get another look at Alex Timmons to Evan Timmons up the seam. Ball was at the 36-yard line. Sits at the 11 right now. So to do some quick math, I think it was at 43 yards.
Yeah, it was a great football play by design.
I think 53.
They used motion to get and saw that they were in man coverage, and they did a good job of getting their eyes off number 6, and he just went straight up the field right down the middle. The safety went moving with the motion, expecting to get over the top on something outside. Middle was wide open. That's easy. Easy throw, easy catch, big yards.
Yes, 53 yards up the seam. Alex Timmons to his twin brother, Evan. The 2 6-foot seniors connected on a big play for Lubbock Christian out of the halftime break. And just 1 minute 9 in here to quarter number 3. They're threatening here with 1st and 10 at the 11. Timmons in shotgun. He's got 2 wides to the near side. Martin and Lack. Now Coates in motion across the formation. Timmons looking to the right-hand side and some miscommunication between he and Cash Howard. That ball went to the outside, and Howard cut to the inside.
Again, they're doing a good job. If you'll watch the motion, when the Lubbock players come across in motion, they are rolling a safety down, bumping over, and then the backside guy is going to have to pick up the eligible tight end. And just a great scheme right now by Lubbock Christian.
2nd down and 11. Timmons off play action over the middle into traffic, tipped and incomplete, but 2 flags come in from behind the play.
That was an easy one. There could have been 5 flags, just some contact before the ball got there. Easy call for the officials. You know, sometimes it's okay to get a pass interference if the alternative is a touchdown.
Jacob Blair, our crew chief, says the ball was tipped, and as a result, there is no pass interference on the play. The ball was definitely tipped over the middle.
Caught a break.
And that'll set up 3rd down and 10 now. So after that 53-yard hookup from Timmons to Timmons, nothing doing on the first 2 plays here from the 11-yard line.
Feels like we've been here before.
We saw them miss a 30-yard field goal late in the first half after they weren't able to convert from the 13 on 3rd down and 10. Let's see what they do on 3rd and 10 here from the 11 into the end zone, and it's tipped away at the last moment. Zeke Lott had a chance at it, but a nice defensive play in the middle of the end zone.
Number 40, Brock Ambelang, and number 9 were back there for Bernie.
Some active hands by Geneva there. Great tip at the last second. Otherwise, that's a touchdown.
And this time they're going to elect to go for it on 4th down and 10. Would be a 28-yard field goal, but again, we saw him miss a 30-yarder late in the first half, so they decided to go for it here on 4th and 10. Howard in motion right to left across the formation. Timmons had time, now flushed, pressure in his face, throws into the back corner of the end zone, incomplete. Timmons took some punishment, slow to get back to his feet. and they can't make the connection on 4th and 10, and Boerne Geneva, after giving up a big play up the seam on the third play of the drive, then they stand tall at the 11-yard line and force the turnover on downs.
Great pressure by Boerne. Timmons knew he was going to get whacked, and he got hit hard a few times in that first half, so it'll be interesting to see how that pressure plays out here throughout the rest of the game.
So Geneva takes over at their own 11-yard line. You guys have mentioned it a few times today, gentlemen, the nature of how difficult it can become for a spread offense when you get into that tightly confined space of the red zone. And multiple times today, Lubbock Christian has just struggled to find that space they need to operate in a short field. And we see it again there as they fail on 4 straight plays from the 11-yard line. 2nd down and 10 here for Cade Barone, looking deep up the near sideline. He's got a man behind the defense. It's Joel Calderon across midfield. Foot race, and he's breaking away. Joel Calderon, 89 yards. Touchdown, Geneva.
Once again, a smart play there from Geneva. Obviously able to get that 4th down stop against Lubbock Christian, and then able to convert very well on that the next play. Great job by the Geneva coaches. Great play call.
"89 yards, Barone to Calderon. Calderon over 1,000 receiving yards on the season. And just added 89 to that total with yet another touchdown for the senior wideout. And just like that, they've opened up a 3-score lead here. Extra point is up and through, and it's 35-18. Geneva in front.
Yeah, junior quarterback continues to impress. Nice throw, caught him in stride. And let's give some credit to that Geneva offensive line, giving Barone plenty of time to be able to step into these throws and make these throws.
I still come back to, though, it's all about finishing drives. Lubbock Christian has moved the football very well today. They have not finished drives with touchdowns. They have not finished drives with points on multiple occasions. The dropped touchdown pass on 3rd and 10 right before halftime, the missed field goal that followed, and then 4 consecutive failures from the 11-yard line after that 53-yard hookup from Timmons to get him down deep into the red zone. They just haven't been able to finish drives with as much efficiency and effectiveness as Geneva has, and as a result, they're now down 17 early on here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's been something I want to see from the Lubbock Christian Eagles as well. I think what they need to do is sprinkle in a little bit more, whether some RPO or some option with the quarterback and running back, allowing them to get a little bit of that running game going, because they're doing a great job passing, but they really need some of that running game, especially in the red zone.
Line drive kick fielded by Bullington at the 18. He'll fight his way forward to the 31-yard line. And now a little bit of gut check time for Lubbock Christian. 13-0 on this season. They've played really only 2 or 3 close games all this year. Beat Sundown by 20 back in September. Played a 7-point game against the defending champ, TC Willow Park. They beat them 20-13 on the first day in November. And then their final regular season game of the year against Trinity Christian Lubbock was a 5-point win. Those are really their only 3 close football games this year. Now they find themselves down 17 early on in the third quarter. Let's see what Alex Timmons and company can dial up in this circumstance. They throw it on the right-hand side for Howard, breaks the first tackle, fights his way to the 40, and picks up about 8 on the first play of the drive.
Yeah, this is where you learn a lot about your football program right here. Everything that you've done in the offseason, the years you spent with these guys, how will they respond down 17, second half of a state championship game?
Good start to the drive, sets up 2nd down and 2. 4 wides for Timmons, 3 to the bottom of the formation. And he fires it over the head of Zeke Lott. Again, put on the turf.
Number 25, Josh Lopez with the hit. Yet again, great pressure by the Boerne defense.
As you said earlier, definite gut check time for the Eagles of Lubbock Christian. They're really, I think, going to need to go score on this drive to be able to keep with Geneva and keep in this game.
And their style, if they score and recover an onside kick, they can get right back in this game really fast. They just need to finish a drive.
3rd down and 2. And Timmons is going to try and run for it. And he's got it with ease, dragging tacklers across the 45 to the 48-yard line, and they'll move the sticks. The quarterback runs have been very clearly a big part of the offense for Lubbock Christian all this season. Both of their quarterbacks in excess of 1,000 rushing yards this season. I don't feel like we've seen them do a whole lot of that, though, today. It's been effective when they've gone to it, but it's been a rather sparse element of their offense so far. They throw it again here on the right-hand side, complete.
Really impressed. They're just a good, balanced football team. Do a good job throwing the ball, good job running the ball. Today, the only thing that's haunting them is the ability to finish a drive.
Carson Leatherwood on the receiving end there for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down and 4. Two tight end set here for Timmons at a shotgun. Max protect, and they look deep to the right-hand side, and he overshoots Leatherwood.
And he is on the ground again. He's taking a big shot almost every time he puts the ball up in the air.
Once again, that was Josh Lopez there for Bernie.
And they max protected there. They had 2 tights on either end of the offensive line and still couldn't keep Timmons clean. Credit to this Bernie Geneva defensive front. They have been all over the senior quarterback this afternoon. 8:05 3rd quarter, 35-18. Geneva leads 13-0 Lubbock Christian. They beat a 12-0 team last week in the state semifinals, looking to knock off another undefeated team. Caleb Coates gets the swing pass on the near side. He's going to be cut down short of the line to gain. He got to the 46, maybe a gain of a yard, and it's going to be 4th and 3.
Yeah, it's not even a thought here. You got to go for it here.
Have to get to the 43-yard line. Timmons looking to the far sideline for the play call from Emery Dudensing, the offensive coordinator. He'll have 2 wides to the top of the formation and a back in the backfield with him. Braden Martin in motion across the formation. And he's going to keep it himself. Timmons spinning up the middle, 1st down. Crossed the 40-yard line to the 39, picked it up with ease, and they move the sticks.
Matt, that's what I expected to see out of Lubbock Christian. That's what we saw on film. There hasn't been a lot of that today, but that's kind of what I thought we were going to see a bunch of, because that keeps the clock running and keeps Bernie off the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they just got kind of behind a little bit too much here at the beginning of the second half, so good to see him do it. Got to keep the Bernie Geneva defense honest.
5 minutes into the 3rd quarter, and Timmons with pressure again in his face and just has to sling it on the right-hand side toward Cash Howard and out of bounds. And once again, Alex Timmons picking himself up off the turf here at Panther Stadium.
Yeah, this is one of the disadvantages of a no-huddle team. He needs a chance to get in with his linemen and say, hey, guys, come on, help me out. They're coming through untouched right now.
Heck, I think he needs the huddle as much as anything just to catch his breath. He's been running for his life on this drive.
Really nice job by Coach Champion sending guys through different gaps. They're coming through and they're bringing pressure every play.
5 guys at the line of scrimmage. Bull rush up the middle. They protect it well this time, and he fires on the near side, complete in the hands of Braden Martin. He'll get him down to the 33. That'll set up 3rd down and a little more manageable, a short 5.
You know, Matt, they're walking up those linebackers and they're sending them. That's how that middle's opened up, and they haven't looked at that middle very much this drive. Those backers are vacating on that pass rush.
It's Lack in at quarterback here for 3rd down and 5, and he's going to keep it himself up the middle, and he stood up short of the line to gain. The ball came out. The officials are saying the play's over, but he is short right at the 30-yard line.
25, Josh Lopez once
Who's
again.
surprised?
How many times have we called his name, leading the team clearly in paint chipped off of his helmet, and after hits like that, I think we know why.
Yeah, he put a heck of a hit on the quarterback there. Form tackle, excellent technique. That's the way you draw it up.
See the O-line coach over there pointing, that's the guy you're so supposed to be blocking, him. He's yelling 25, him.
Josh Lopez, very much the senior leader of this Geneva defense and really of the football team in general. They say even in practice when he's trying to run scout defense for the offense, they said even in that circumstance he's out for blood. Sometimes they have to harness him. 4th down and 1, and they're going to go for it. Timmons, play action, rolling to the right-hand side, throws incomplete. The ball was low, and Caleb Coates couldn't grab it. And it's another turnover on downs for this Lubbock Christian offense.
Matt, 4th and 1, they throw the ball. Thoughts?
I think that was a good decision to go there. The only problem is obviously with the size of Geneva up front, it's really hard for especially those tight ends, which is what they're looking for, to release as quickly as they're used to. So, I think it's a good, educated risk that you take there. But, with, a little bit under 6 minutes left to go and you're down a couple scores, you do have to take those risks.
Now a very important spot for the Lubbock Christian defense. 1st and 10 from the 30 for Boerne Geneva. And only a gain of 1 on 1st and 10 as they hand it off to Ambalang.
They are doing a great job of getting Lopez some rest when he's out there just playing a heck of a game on defense, and then he's getting some breathers. They've got the flexibility to get him off the field and still be effective with their offense, but now he's coming back on, so I expect to see him with the ball in his hands.
Past the midway point of quarter number 3 here in the Division III state championship game on TAPS TV. Mike Leslie, Matt Tarbutton, Gabe Duarte, and Larry Thexton here with you. Play action fake for Boerne, pointing out directions, has all time in the backfield, and then he doesn't. In a blink, out came 3 white jerseys from the pile, and Boerne taken down for the sack, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think you definitely call that a coverage sack. Lubbock Christian on the backside with the defensive backs and their safeties are doing a great job in coverage and allowed those guys up front to get enough time to do their work and get to Boerne.
It looked like he had an eternity, and then out of nowhere, Ryan Kelly and Carter Carruthers for Lubbock Christian put him to the ground.
So it'll be 3rd down and 15.
They get to stop here. We get to see the loneliest player on the field, the punter. With no appearance from a punter today.
Gonna snap it and try and take it up the middle in the hands of Joel Calderon. He kind of went in there as a wildcat quarterback and able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but nothing further, and it'll be 4th and 10.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Geneva quick punt it here.
Jackson Young is the punter for Boerne Geneva, but Cade Barone will also sometimes quick kick it out of a traditional offensive set. This time they're going to bring Young on the field in a more traditional punt format and kick it away.
I think that's a smart move. They've got the point spread right now. They've got the time. It's not a whole lot of time off the clock, but if they can continue to wear down on this Lubbock offense, I think it's not a terrible decision at all.
15 on the play clock, so they can let it wear down if they want to. They elect to snap it, and they will punt it away. Cash Howard back to return. That ball checks up at the 38-yard line, and they'll down it there. So in a very important spot, Lubbock Christian's defense did what they needed to do there, fellas.
First 3 and out of the game.
Yeah, that was a big win for Lubbock Christian after the last 2 sort of mistakes by their offense. Boerne's really made them pay, so it was important for the Eagles in white to see that they can bounce back.
I think if I'm Coach Softly with Lubbock Christian, they've really got to score on this possession. They've come up short on a couple of them. They really need to execute, and especially if they get into the red zone, they've got to get some points.
Lubbock Christian 13-0 on the year, looking for a 14th win in a state championship. Boerne Geneva started this season 1-4 against an extremely difficult schedule. Since then, they have not lost. They try to make it 9 straight wins, and that ball nearly caught by Alex Lack. Nicely defended at the point of attack.
Beautiful throw, and I'm just, man, I love number 10's moxie. He is taking some hits, and he's getting back up, and he's still stepping into throws. He is doing everything he can to keep his team in the game. That one might have been a little bit late on that one.
That looked a little late to me. I think it was Travis Rattery, 58.
Is that what the call
did?
was?
Okay, they did throw the flag. All right, we missed that for a moment there, but they did indeed throw the flag. So the officials seeing the same thing we did, roughing the passer, as there was a good step and a half or two before Timmons caught a shoulder from, again, I believe it was Rattery. We'll see the replay here once again. That's 56, not 58. Beg your pardon, Zach Fly. And that moves the ball out across midfield, 1st and 10 at the 47. Timmons is going to keep it himself and runs right into a wall. They didn't really sell the pass there at all, fellas. That was very clearly a quarterback draw the entire time, and nowhere for Timmons to run.
Yeah, I think Coach Champion saw that by formation. He started yelling something out. They had the tight end covered up, which they haven't done all day, and so I think it told him, hey, we got to run here.
2nd down and 9. 5 wide receivers set now for Timmons. This time he will go to the air, and again, miscommunication there. He had Caleb Coates. Coates never saw the football coming.
That was almost picked off. If he was been able to get underneath that ball and get a good pair of hands on it, that might be going the other way.
Sam Armstrong, the freshman safety. That young man right there is a freshman playing in a state championship game, a big part of the future for this Geneva Eagles offense and defense. 3rd and 9 for Lubbock Christian. They need points. Pressure. They try and run into the blitz, and it does not work. Maybe a gain of 2, and it'll be 4th down and 7.
Lopez.
He's definitely no Slopez, that's for sure. Sorry, that was too much.
I love him. I love it.
Josh Lopez played a heck of a football game on offense and defense. 2 touchdown runs. Impact plays defensively all afternoon.
Looks like the Eagles are still going to go for it. Or maybe not.
Yeah, they are going to back up and punt the football away, it looks like here. They do. Alex Lack's going to fake it. Now he's going to punt it. That did not work. That ball's going to go out of bounds at the 40. He probably could have run to there, I'm sure. That did not work. They tried to fake the punt, maybe consider still punting it as they got close to the line of scrimmage. I think it got tipped as it came off his foot. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Geneva at the 40. They would have been better served to just straight up go for it.
Yeah, that's one of the drawbacks of the rugby-style punt. You know, you give your punter the freedom to go out and be able to maybe see, hey, can I go get that 1st down? But you got to make one decision or another. You can't second-guess yourself there at the end.
Alex Lack is their traditional punter. He does handle the punting duties, so that was not necessarily anything different from what would be at least a variation of the norm for Lubbock Christian. But it did not work there. I believe it goes down as a 6-yard punt, and it's 1st and 10 for Geneva from the 40.
Yeah, once he kind of does that little run fake and he gets outside the tackle box, there is no running into the kicker. He's free game, even if he decides to kick it. So that's one of the risks that you take when you run that.
They're helped a little bit by the penalty here against Geneva, so 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15. Ball at the 35, and they've got Joel Calderon in there again at the Wildcat quarterback. He fakes the handoff and keeps it himself. Gets back to and a little bit beyond the original line of scrimmage and sets up 2nd down and 9 after a gain of 6. 1:25 to play, 3rd quarter. Geneva up 35-18. And once again, pressure on this Lubbock Christian defense. They need a stop. They cannot allow Geneva to find points on this possession.
Matt, this is pretty smart coaching by the Geneva staff. They're not in that frantic hurry anymore. They're taking a little bit more time, trying to run a little clock off.
Under 10 seconds now on the play clock. Calderon again, and the Wildcat quarterback takes it himself off the left-hand side, picking his way for maybe 5, and it'll be 3rd down and short. Softly out on the field trying to call for a false start against the Geneva offense. There was no flag. As we've ticked into the final minute of quarter number 3, it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Maroon's coming back on the field at quarterback.
They had Calderon out there for the first 2 plays of the possession. Now back comes the big 5'8", 205-pound starting QB on 3rd down and 4. Handoff up the middle, and nowhere for Lopez to go. Breaks a tackle, though. Lowers the shoulder. He's going to have the first down right at the midfield stripe. The near sideline judge has him beyond midfield. What a run by Josh Lopez. It looked like he was clearly going to be taken down in the backfield. Fought through a tackle, lowered his shoulder. First down, Geneva.
Tough physical run. Just love that style of football.
And that will be the final play of quarter number 3. Josh Lopez setting the tone offensively and defensively. And Geneva up by 17 as we head to the 4th. We'll be back on TAPS TV. Back at Panther Stadium, 35-18. Geneva School of Boerne with the lead as we head to the 4th. 1st and 10 just across midfield after a punishing run from the senior running back, Josh Lopez. This time it's Calderon back in there at the Wildcat, and nowhere for him to go. He's going to be stood up after maybe a gain of a yard.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think if I'm Geneva, I'm definitely going to milk some clock here in the 4th quarter. They've got a good 17-point lead. I think it'd be great for them to, even though they're a no-huddle team, you can still obviously take your time and let some of this clock run off, get a good 30, 35 seconds off it every time.
Play clock already down to 15 as they stand and look at the sideline for the play. Dean Herbert, the head coach, calls the plays for this offense. And on 2nd down and 9, under 5 seconds on the play clock, and now they will call timeout.
That's a strange time. Just coming out of the quarter, they've only ran 1 play, so it's a strange time for a timeout. So not sure what the confusion was out there on offense.
That is their 2nd timeout utilized in this second half, so they only have 1 remaining for the final 11-16 of the football game. Certainly Lubbock Christian in a position where they need timeouts more than Geneva does right now. They have all 3, trailing by 17 and needing a stop here on this possession. If they were to give up 3 and still be down by 3 touchdowns, 38-18, maybe still in touch, can't give up a touchdown here. That would be a death blow.
That would be tough to recover from. This benefit stops the clock. They called timeout, stops the clock, gives Lubbock a chance to catch their breath. So they got the break at the quarter, and then they get a quick little break here. Gives them a chance to catch their breath and play full speed again and try to make something happen for them.
A defense that has been catching a face full of Cade Barone and Brock Ambelang and Josh Lopez all afternoon. An extended break, probably welcomed by this group that is outsized all across the field by the Geneva offense. 2nd down and 9 out of the timeout. And Calderon's going to hand it off to Ambelang. No, he's going to keep it himself on the read. Picks up maybe 3. Gets inside the 46.
Definitely looks like the Lubbock defense is a little bit more committed to trying to strip the ball out. Obviously, they could use a turnover or 2 here to get the ball back, but think Geneva's coaches definitely during that timeout are definitely preaching ball security for sure.
So it'll be a big third down here. Have to get to the 39-yard line to convert. Boerne in the pistol. He's got Lopez behind him. 3 wides to the near side. They'll go to the air. Boerne looking deep down the middle of the field. Has a man behind the defense, and he overshot him. Jackson Young could have walked into the end zone, but the pass about 3 yards too deep down the field, and it'll be 4th and 6.
Well drawn up play, just missed, but it's a good thing for Lubbock. Not only did he miss, they don't get points on the board, but stops the clock.
10:29, fourth quarter. Geneva forced to punt. A chance to perhaps pin Lubbock Christian deep in their own territory, punting from the 46 on Lubbock Christian's side of the field. Snap is good. The punt, a line drive, bouncing inside the 20, and that's going to work out very well for Geneva. Falls dead at the 6-yard line. George Vina downs it there, and Lubbock Christian, if they want to get back in this football game, is going to have to start with a 94-yard drive.
It's a long way to go with a short amount of time. Even though we still got about 10 minutes left to go, down 17, that's going to have to move the ball quickly. We know Lubbock Christian's definitely inept at running some trick plays, so let's see if they try to use one of their plays to get some big yardage on the next couple plays.
We've seen a 53-yard hookup today from Lubbock Christian. That's their longest play. Alex Timmons to Evan Timmons. We'll see what they draw up here from their own end zone. Tipped and nearly intercepted. Well defended by Jackson Friesenhahn.
Nice job of running the quarterback to the left, though, trying to get him the opportunity to throw the ball without somebody in his face. So rolling the pocket right now, trying to get rid of or get around some of that inside pressure from Boerne Geneva. Good call. Just need to finish the play now.
10-14 on the clock. I feel like Lubbock Christian needs to draw some things up, kind of like we were saying, either roll him out of the pocket or quick strike plays, because Timmons has been hit and hit hard many times today. They need to give him an opportunity to stay on his feet and lead them down the football field. This one a little bit of a slow developing play, but he's got a man open. He undershot him, and it was nearly picked off by Friesenhahn. Back-to-back plays. The junior corner had a chance at the football. That one a golden opportunity and right through his hands.
And that was great body control by Friesenhahn, able to go up there. Almost high point intercepted. That's some impressive coverage skills by the young man.
Would have been a sensational catch. And what's perhaps more frustrating for Alex Timmons is he had Bullington behind the defense. If he hits him, he may still be running. Instead, it's 3rd and 10.
Blitz Lopez here.
Timmons standing in his own end zone, throws it incomplete. I'm not sure which target he was looking for there. He had Alex Lack over there. He also had Bullington, but he kind of threw it in between the two. And after what was a big, impressive stop by the Lubbock Christian defense, the offense can't do anything with it. They don't move a foot. And they'll have to punt it on 4th and 10 out of their own end zone.
Yeah, this is getting tough. Time is not on their side right now. This is starting to get difficult here.
Really the only positive for Lubbock Christian in this circumstance is the fact that they threw the ball 3 straight times, so hardly any time came off the clock. 10:05 to play, but again, they asked their defense to make a stop, and again, a less than awe-inspiring punt. Ball is going to be marked out of bounds. Official just finishing walking now. Looks like it's going to be right at the 30-yard line. Excellent field position for Cade Boerne and the Geneva offense. 30 yards away from a touchdown that would put this game on ice.
Matt, looking at Geneva, they got nice roster size. I think they're making the transition to Division II next year. We saw Austin Regents ready. Are they ready to go take on schools Regents-like?
That I don't know. I know they played Second Baptist earlier this year, which is a Division II team, and that was part of their 1-4 drive to begin the season. I think it's going to be a little tough for them to begin with, but as long as they continue to build, they're doing a great job with their program now.
And here comes Calderon spinning his way inside the 10, close to the end zone, inside the 5 to the 1.
Beautiful run there. But if they continue to build, continue to be successful, they'll get there. You know, you may have a little bit of a non-honeymoon period, that's for sure, with some teams like Regents, Holy Cross, Houston Second Baptist, Lutheran South down in Houston. You're going to face some teams that are going to be pretty tough, but I think if they can continue to build on the program, continue to build on their success, I think they'll be all right.
Barone at a shotgun, hands off up the middle, and for the third time today, Josh Lopez, touchdown Eagles. And with 9:26 on the clock in the fourth quarter, that one might do it.
I know we really don't do game MVPs here, but if I had a vote for one, mine would definitely be for number 25.
Oh, yeah.
This would be a fun one to go back and watch on film. I'd like to see number 51, Seth Ramsey. Man, this kid's putting on a clinic on how to be an offensive lineman, get downfield, and finish blocks.
Extra point is up and through thanks to Ethan Valdez, and it is 42-18. Geneva with 3 touchdown runs from Josh Lopez, 3 touchdown passes from Cade Barone. And they have opened this one up here in the fourth quarter. It's now a 24-point lead. You know, fellas, we saw 2 games yesterday. Parish Episcopal knocking off JP2 in the Division I championship game. Trinity Christian Cedar Hill eventually pulling away from Austin Regents in the Division II title game. I think in both of those games you can make a pretty sound argument that there was a talent gap in those 2 football games. The 2 teams that won state championships in Division I and Division II were pretty handily better football teams, 1 to 50, however many players are on those respective football teams across the board. This game to me doesn't feel that way. This game feels to me like 2 teams that, from a talent perspective, were pretty even, but Boerne Geneva just executed much better all game long.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. That's for sure. You know, obviously, a couple penalties for Lubbock Christian definitely kind of hurt them on some few. You know, and penalties don't come on 1st and 15. It's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5. You know, forcing you to extend drives. So, yeah, I think it's, as you said, it's definitely come down to execution. Not that Lubbock Christian hadn't made some great plays, they just didn't make enough of them.
No doubt, they made some great plays, especially in the first half. Made some fantastic plays. They had some opportunities to extend that and continue that trend, and they weren't able to do so late in the second quarter, and then certainly here in the second half. They have not been able to find the end zone since the 4:52 mark of quarter number 2.
I think there's some depth issues, too. When you're able to take a kid like Lopez and get him some rest on the sideline and then roll him back out there, a lot of these key players for Lubbock are two-way players, and Geneva's got enough of a roster where key kids can come off, get some water, talk to their coach, get some rest, and get back out there fresh. I think that's starting to add up right now, too.
Yeah, especially in those, front 7 positions where they're getting hit on every play. Yeah, definitely to get some rest, every 5 or 10 plays is definitely huge.
Yeah, Lubbock Christian might be the happiest school in Taft. Hey, you're going Division II next year. Good luck. See ya.
Trying to find some sort of positive momentum here in the fourth quarter as they try and hit the receiver Martin over the middle. He came out of the play looking for a flag, no dice, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Let's keep in mind as well, Geneva was here last year. They got knocked out of the state championship game. They've been hungry. They've been looking to come back, and this happens to be the school's 20th anniversary, so what a great way for them to celebrate that milestone this year. For Lubbock Christian, they haven't been to the state final since back in 2004. They did win it that year, but none of the players who are on the team now obviously were around then, so they may just be happy to be here. This looks like you've got the bruisers of Boerne versus the finesse team in Lubbock, and Boerne's been able to capitalize perhaps off of that experience, but certainly off of that strength to put themselves in great shape here with 9 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, I think definitely, especially for those teams that, were there prior or were there the previous year or two. I think, especially what they do in the off season is going to be telling for what they are able to produce during the season. Coach Herbert knew this team was going to be pretty good. They obviously make the finals last year. Schedule's tough. Had his team well tested, and then, get put into the, fire in the playoffs against a really good Woodlands Christian team, a really good Lubbock Christian team, and as they say, iron sharpens iron. So I think they've done a great job here today sharpening themselves before their biggest test.
It was 365 days ago, December 7th of 2018, that this Boerne Geneva football team played for a state championship against TC Willow Park. They lost 15-14. 365 days even later, on their way to a state title, leading 42-18 here with 9 minutes and change left in quarter number 4. Credit to Lubbock Christian. They're still trying to make something happen here. They set up the screen on the left side and pick up 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, it's a gutsy call last year. Joe Hamster, one of the most exciting finishes in a state championship game, decides to go for 2 instead of 1 to tie it up. And that was just an exciting game.
3rd and 4 for Timmons, and again, he's got pressure in his face, fires in the direction of Zeke Lott and overshot him. That's one player that they have not been able to unlock today, this Lubbock Christian offense. Talked with their head coach, Chris Softly, earlier this week, and he said Zeke Lott may be line 1 for them. As good as Alex Timmons is, as good as Alex Lack is, Zeke Lott, in terms of what he does for them offensively and defensively, may be their best football player. They just haven't been able to find him today. They've gone in his direction a couple of times and either overshot him or just, for whatever reason, the play hasn't worked out. And another example of it right there, and that sets up 4th down and 4 here. 8:43 on the clock, 4th quarter, and what feels like the last chance, if there is any chance, for Timmons. Fires it up in the air. It is caught. Can he get to the first down sticks? Yes, he can, and then some. Caleb Coates making something out of nothing there, and they'll move the sticks and keep their faint hopes alive here.
Yeah, Cash Howard just continued trying everything he could to stay with his block to make sure they got the first down there. Great effort by number 2 for Lubbock Christian.
What's important to note as it relates to Lubbock Christian's effort to make a miracle happen here, it is still a 3-score game, technically speaking. It's a 24-point game. 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. They could tie the football game, and this is a team that is adept at kicking onside kicks. They do it all year long. They're used to it. They haven't done it especially well today, but they are accustomed to it. So if that's not going to help. He throws the interception. Joe Calderon just shut me up. Cross midfield and taken down at the 40 by Timmons. And if it wasn't over already, I think it is now, fellas.
Yeah, Calderon in the right place in the right time for the quiet U interception there.
Yeah, those seats on that 7-8 hour bus trip back to Lubbock just became a little bit more uncomfortable.
Tough day for this offense that looked so good in the early going. This was a very back-and-forth game through the first quarter and a half or so. But credit to Boerne Geneva. A couple of big plays late in the first half, both offensively and defensively.
I just wonder if those hits so early in the game, getting to the quarterback, putting him on the ground, they just started to add up on Timmons. He's hung in there, though. Tough kid.
Hand off to Ambelang up the middle, and he falls forward for 4. You're absolutely right about that. Timmons, I mean, there was no quit. There was no happy feet. He stood in there in the pocket and delivered time after time after time, even on that 4th and 4 where he hit Coates and just had to kind of sling it up in the air because he had 3 defenders in his face. He continued to stand in there and try and make plays, but they just couldn't execute at a high enough rate today. And they're going to end up falling one step short of what they hoped was going to be a 14-0 state championship season. Barone in the pistol with Ambelang behind him on 2nd down and 6. Ambelang with the handoff, and he gets stood up by Zeke Lott right at the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a half a yard.
Still playing tough. Defense still trying to do anything they can to get them off the field to try to give their offense another shot.
Meanwhile, what a season for Geneva. Start the year 1-4. They got blown out. You're talking about playing Second Baptist to start the year. Got blown out by Second Baptist, 41-6 on August 30th. Beat Anthony 49-0 in their second game, but then lost to a very good Fort Worth All Saints team in Fort Worth. 62-47. Lost at Sioux Falls as Calderon takes the reception on the near side and steps out of bounds at the 23. Lost to San Antonio Christian in a close game 20-14 to start the year 1-4. Since then, they have not lost, and for the most part, they haven't even been close. One close game the rest of the way. They beat Bay Area Christian in their second-round playoff game 21-16. That's the only close game they've had the balance of the year. Every other game they've won comfortably, and that will continue today, 42-18 in front of Lubbock Christian midway through this fourth quarter, and on their way to a 9-game winning streak and a 10-4 state championship season for Dean Herbert and company.
What was the score against Fort Worth All Saints?
62-47.
That is the team that beat Parish Episcopal.
Yep.
You know you're going to be good when you go out and you put them on your schedule. That's gutsy for a D3 team to go out and say, hey, we'll play anybody. And this certainly reflects their willingness to go out and play one of the toughest schedules in TAPS football. But they must have known that they were going to have a really good football team.
Yeah, Dean Herbert said that they learned from that 5-game stretch to start the season. He said, you play teams like that, if you have any weaknesses, and now another flag, back-to-back flags here against the Geneva offense as they're going backwards now here. It'll be 1st and 20. He said, you play teams like that, if you have a weakness, it's going to be exposed. But he said, we learned how to play from behind. We learned how to get up. We got hit in the mouth. He said, just valuable lessons for this team. And he said of Lubbock Christian coming into this football game, he said they're good. He said, don't get me wrong, they're good, but they haven't played the teams that we have. And that has played out over the course of this afternoon.
I agree 100% with that. Kudos to them for going out and making sure that they were prepared with that schedule. That's tough. That would give me nightmares looking at that schedule over the summer.
And here goes Josh Lopez, touchdown number 4. 33 yards to pay dirt, and the icing on the cake. Geneva, your Division III state champions, in a very impressive performance. Offensively, defensively, just dominant against a team that, again, guys, I would make the argument, talent-wise, these two teams are pretty darn even. Geneva may disagree with me with the performance that they're putting on the field right now, but honestly, just looking at the talent that is on each of these sidelines, it feels even to me, but what is not even very clearly is the way these two teams have played today. Geneva has been fantastic.
And Josh Lopez may be the tipping point in that evaluation of talent across both these teams. I mean, that last run, I don't know how you look like such an angry runner without even getting hit, but he did. and that is just, I don't want to even go down stand next to him.
33 yards for the touchdown for Lopez. And he's got 4 touchdown runs on the day to go along with Cade Barone's 3 touchdown passes. 49 on the board for Geneva. And what was a really close, tightly contested football game for the first half has turned into a romp here in the second half. They have now scored 28 unanswered. And they've darn near hung half 100 on Lubbock Christian.
Yeah, that big offensive line for Geneva is just kind of taken over. I hope that quarterback and those running backs have got some food, some snacks, something for those guys, because they have worked their tail off today, opening up some big holes for them up front. Just a incredible demonstration of offensive line play.
You know, obviously, when you have an undefeated season going into the state championship and you walk out with a loss, that one loss, that's the absolute one time you didn't want to lose. But let's credit the Lubbock Christian fan base here. It's not a short drive out to Hewitt all the way from Lubbock, and they have a big crowd that came out to support their team today.
No doubt. Nice return here by Cade Landrum out to the 46-yard line.
Okay, that's a great point. They've got a lot of those bleachers over there filled. That's amazing how they came out and supported these guys. That's a long trip.
I think that crowd's bigger than the Division I schools that we saw out here.
They love their Eagles.
Division I schools didn't have to go far.
Yeah.
Maybe an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, 20 minutes apart, and they drove 2 hours to play each other.
Yeah, from where we sit here in Hewitt, according to my phone anyway, 5 hours and 13 minutes as the ball breaks loose on that. They're going to say an incomplete pass. As our referee and crew chief today, Jacob Blair, nearly caught a face full of defender. Dean Herbert and his defensive coordinator, Nick Champion, helped bring this program from 11-man to 11-man from 6-man football 6 years ago. They came in when the program was still a 6-man team. The seniors now were 6th graders then as they began that transition. These guys came up through the program with these kids to the varsity level and have built this high-quality varsity football program at the 11-man level, and they're intercepting passes all over the place now. Into Lubbock Christian territory with the interception comes this Geneva defense. Making the pick is Aiden Crystal, the safety.
Yeah, Timmons tried to step into the throw, but it's kind of been the theme all day. He had somebody on his body and wasn't able to put anything on the throw, and just underthrew it. And it was a nice pick, just a pick there, and probably still got to be careful here. They might try to put another one on the board the way they're running the ball right now.
Yeah. Aiden Crystal only a sophomore, but there are 8 seniors on this football team that have been with them from the jump through that stretch with Herbert and Champion as they built this program. Those 8 seniors that have been here for all 4 years on varsity, 53 varsity football games, including today. 40-12 coming into this football game. They'll make it 41-12 and cap it off with a state championship. 10-2 in 2016, 11-2 in 2017, 10-4 last year, and it'll be 10-4 again this year.
Go ahead.
I was just saying a 41-13 total record. And in addition to that, very clearly talent coming up the chain as well. Crystal, the sophomore, just made the interception. Friesenhan, the junior cornerback, has made some plays over the course of today. They do have talent still in the fold. Yes, they lose Josh Lopez. Yes, they've got some key players that will graduate. Their entire defensive line starters are seniors. But this is a talented football team, and they're building something there.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping Matt would be up here because it's rare for a 6-man team to transition to 11-man and have this much success. They've done an incredible job. They've made a statement that first year. Usually when you make that transition, you don't have the offensive line or the defensive line to hang with the 11-man guy. They were playing with the 11-man teams right off the bat.
Mark down at the Lubbock Christian 36-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
We're doing a good job, Gabe, of just slowing things down, trying to run as much clock as possible right now.
Third down and 7 here for Boerne. We did lose Matt Tarbutton down to the field as he's going to be part of the trophy presentation here in just a little bit. But Larry, Gabe, and myself will bring you guys the rest of the way for the final 4:41 of what has very clearly become a blowout here, a 31-point advantage now for Geneva.
A little surprised, even though it was 3rd down, that they went with the pass play there. As you mentioned, the safe plays just run the clock. The game has been decided. Let's just get everybody as safely as we can off here without taking any injuries here at the end of the season.
Nick Champion, I met him when he was coaching at Tyler All Saints with Mike Hall, and young kid, young coach. He was doing football, girls softball. Never seen a softball coach so focused on attention to detail, and you can see now what that's done for him. He's an outstanding D coordinator. He's building something special with his head coach here. And if you get a chance to talk to Nick, details, how important they are. And those were evident 7 years ago when he was at All Saints, just doing but doing girls softball. He's a good coach. Happy for him.
His defense has put a pretty strong performance on the table today. Only 18 points on the board for a team that scored 63 a week ago, 56 in their second-round playoff game, 52 in their first-round playoff game. Today they scored 18 points in the first quarter and a half, have not scored since. Interceptions on each of the last 2 possessions for Alex Timmons as they've been trying to scramble to make something happen here late in the football game. He's going to throw deep downfield. That's a heck of a catch. Deep downfield by Carson Leatherwood.
Yeah, you can see where this Lubbock team has been explosive. Just more credit again to your soon-to-be state champions that they were able to slow them down, because not many people have been able to slow this offense down this year.
Geneva, a 69-0 win over Northland Christian in the first round of the playoffs. Nice. Second round, 21-16. They beat Bay Area Christian as Alex Lack makes the catch and darts across midfield out of bounds at the 42. And then in the semifinals, a 77-45 win over the Woodlands. And now here they are in the championship game, up by 31 with under 4 minutes left to play.
Did he just catch that ball, spin around, pitch it to the guy running by him?
Yes, he did.
They're still getting after it.
Leatherwood made the catch, and he pitched it back to Alex Lack. Now they're going to throw it on the left-hand side for Calum Coates, and Coates has got some running room inside the 30. This is an explosive offense that has just been, again, credit to the Geneva defense, just bottled up in this second half.
Yeah, it's going to be a long offseason of what if we adjust, what if we have just done, because they had some opportunities that got away from them, and that's going to haunt them for a while.
Oh, the what if we had just is the touchdown catch on 3rd and 10 and late in the second quarter. Braden Martin was wide open. Ball hit him in the chest, and he just couldn't hang on to it. That would have been a touchdown that would have given them the lead. Timmons firing in the end zone for Lack, and nice defensive play. Aiden Crystal knocking it away at the last possible moment. Lack is a super talented kid, nearly hauled that in, but credit to Crystal for breaking it up. But yeah, I mean, how different a football game could this have been if Braden Martin makes that catch on 3rd down and 10 right at the goal line, touchdown Lubbock Christian, they're then up at least 24-21. A team that goes for 2, who knows if they would have gotten it or not. They had failed on all 3 of their 2-point attempts prior to that. But at least 24-21 as Timmons gets hammered again, throws to the end zone, and it's picked off again. Aiden Crystal with his second interception of the day.
Yeah, this is tough because you're going to look at the stat line, and people that were not at this game are going to look at the stat line and go, hey, he threw a bunch of picks.
Not the story of the game.
Not the story at all. The kid is a warrior that he's even still standing out there and playing. So,
amen. A young man who only threw 4 interceptions all season long. 29 touchdowns through the air, another 12 on the ground, better than 3,000 total yards, 2,000 passing, 1,000+ rushing. Tough as nails, and has just been trying to will his team back into the football game and taking some, frankly, necessary chances to try and make that happen, and it's led to some interceptions. But you're absolutely right. The interceptions are by no means the story of this football game.
Yeah, he took a shot right before that interception as well, had to scrape himself off the floor, and for as long as Lubbock Christian was in this game, it was because of what he was able to do for him.
Yeah, frankly, that play is kind of a microcosm of the second half for Lubbock Christian's offense. Timmons getting hammered and Bernie Geneva making an interception on the other end. It has been a struggle for them moving the football, and again, it's credit to Geneva's defense because there's tons of talent on that Lubbock Christian offense, and they just have not been able to get on track.
Yeah, I kind of feel for Coach Soffey right now because knowing that it's going to be some tough hugs and thank yous because he is very close with this senior group, and this is always the toughest part for a head coach when you've got to tell kids thank you and goodbye and great season. They played hard for him.
I spend an awful lot of time on the phone with high school head football coaches doing what I do. I'm not sure I've talked with a coach that has more of a love affair with his senior class than Chris Soffley. I was truly impressed talking on the phone with him earlier this week, just how passionate he is about this group. He's in his 4th year here at Lubbock Christian. Of course, they're in their 4th year playing for this varsity football program as here goes Josh Lopez once again. Foot race up the near sideline. Cash Howard did a nice job to track him down as he got across midfield to the 42. But truly, I don't think I've talked to a coach that has more love for his seniors, and that's hard to accomplish because all these coaches do. But it was just so evident talking on the phone with Chris Soffley how much he cares about this group So yes, this will certainly be a tough pill to swallow for this group in 95 seconds as they see their season come to an end, one step short of where they want it to be.
And he's subbing in some younger guys now, giving them a chance to experience being on the field in the state championship game. Lubbock Christian, they're in good hands. They're going to be fine.
1st and 10, handoff to Ambelang as he runs off the right edge. He's got the corner. Ambelang breaks another tackle inside the 15, cut back inside the 10, down inside the 5. And that may be the final salvo from Lubbock Christian. 1:06 on the clock here in the 4th quarter. I don't know if they'll run a play here, if they'll just kneel on it inside the 10.
Yeah, a smart play here would just be kneel it, Coach. You're up 49-18. Just take a knee 2 times and start shaking hands.
Geneva only 5 points away from tripling up the point total by Lubbock Christian. What an impressive game.
Calderon out on the field. An improvised victory formation, one kneel down, and you can put this one in the books. 49-18, Geneva with a sensational run to finish this football game. 28 unanswered and a 49-18 dominant performance against Lubbock Christian to claim the TAPS Division III state championship.
See a tired Lubbock football team. They played their hearts out. Geneva did what they did well. They tempoed them early, tried to wear them out, and then the strength of that O-line for Geneva just took over in the second half.
Hugs for Cash Howard from some of the older players from this Geneva football team, and then celebration on the near sideline. Geneva School of Boerne, state champs. A 10-4 season and a truly dominant performance, especially in the second half today. From about the midpoint of the second quarter on, it was all Geneva.
We got a Gatorade bath.
Yeah, I was saying that they're trying to hunt for Coach Herbert. I don't know if he's going to see it coming or not. They're trying to distract him. He's trying to run away from it. And they caught him. Gatorade bath for Dean Herbert. 10-4 state championship season for Geneva School of Boerne. And a handshake line has never felt better for these kids.
Great day for football. Weather's beautiful, and it was a good football game. I enjoyed watching that one.
As we wait for the trophy presentation here on TAPS TV after a 49-18 win for Geneva School of Boerne, this is, of course, the 7th of December. And on this Pearl Harbor Day, we had an interview pregame with a member of the JROTC.
We're here on the sidelines with a special guest. This is Chief Warrant Officer 3, Jeff Fisher. He's in charge of the Midway High School JROTC. Tell us about the program here, please.
Thank you for the opportunity. Like I said, my name is Chief Warrant Officer Jeff Fisher. I did 21 years active duty in the Marine Corps. We don't look at the ROTC programs as a recruiting tool. It's more of a community service tool. It's the way for the Marine Corps to give back. Our job really is to make future leaders in the communities of these young people, to give them the tools when they leave. They're going to be future leaders and servants out in the community.
The students here have been doing a fantastic job all weekend long before every game with the presentation of the colors. They've done a beautiful job, even in some harsh wind conditions. How do you select the students who will be out on the field?
Third year doing this. We have color guard members that work all year long. We actually have 7 different teams that make up our drill teams, and these kids are the best of the best. They have to maintain an A average, no disciplinary issues, and have to attend practice on a weekly basis in order to come out here and present the colors. But again, it's our honor to give back.
Thank you for all you do for these students and for your service.
Thanks. We appreciate TAPS. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Our thanks to Gabe Duarte and the JROTC Master Sergeant from here at Midway.
Yeah, it was a real treat to talk to Jeff Fisher, especially here on this Pearl Harbor Day. You know, they've done an outstanding job with the presentation of colors, just absolutely beautiful. And for a couple of those games, if you recall, man, it was rough out there there were some strong winds. You saw the flags whipping around. You worried for a second. You worried for a second it might fly out of their hands, but no, they maintained control and paid a great amount of respects to that wonderful tradition.
Nice moment on the far sideline as the Lubbock Christian players and coaches give a little salute to their fans that made the 5-hour drive from Lubbock all the way here to Hewitt. Trophy presentation just moments away, and as a matter of fact, about to begin right now. Let's go down to the field for the presentation of the state championship and runner-up trophies for Lubbock Christian and Geneva School of Boerne.
Member of the Athletic Executive Committee of TAPS. On the east side, we'd like to recognize the Eagles of Lubbock Christian School for their outstanding 2019 season. They finished the season with a record of 13-1 and reached the state championship game for TAPS Division 3. At this time, we're going to present the state runner-up trophy to head coach Chris Softley and the Eagles of Lubbock Christian School. Once again, congratulations on your outstanding 2019 football season. And now directing your attention to the west stand, recognizing the 2019 Division III state champion. They finish with a season record of 10-4, the Eagles of Geneva School of Boerne. Geneva School, please step forward and receive your state championship trophy. Congratulations on your 2019 state champion football season.
Fittingly, Josh Lopez lifts the trophy in the air, along with Joel Calderon. Lopez with 4 touchdown runs on the day. And Geneva School of Boerne, your Division III state champions in TAPS, a 49-18 win. And just an incredible performance, guys, from this team. Your final thoughts from what was a really entertaining, I know it ended up being a blowout, but a really entertaining football game.
Yeah, every state championship is incredible, but there's just something a little more special about the first one for your program. And you said it, you know, Josh Lopez, what a beast. I think I'm going to jump on his back and catch a ride back to San Antonio.
Larry, your final thoughts.
Yeah, just really like the game plan. Use tempo. Looked like they had a little bit of a numbers advantage with number of kids over Lubbock Christian. Warm out a little bit, and then just let the big offensive line go to work. I guess, let me say this, big offensive line, big defensive line, and the interior of Geneva just took over this football game, both sides.
What a journey for Dean Herbert, Nick Champion in this program, from 6-man football to 11-man football to state champions. 49-18 the final score as Geneva School of Boerne knocks off Lubbock Christian, beats back-to-back undefeated teams in the semis and in the championship game to claim the TAPS Division III state championship. Our thanks to the entire TAPS TV team, our producer in the booth, Will Dixon, the director of media for TAPS, John Skees, the associate director of TAPS is Steve Perdam, and the executive director of TAPS is Brian Bunselmeyer. We also want to give a shout-out to the Midway ISD AV program under the direction of Caleb Overstreet and Tanya Lacey for bringing you all the pictures here today from Panther Stadium. For Matt Tarbutton down on the field, now Larry Thexton and Gabe Duarte here with me in the booth. I'm Mike Leslie. We hope you join us tonight at 7 o'clock as we have our final game of the weekend, the final 11-man state championship game, Sacred Heart against St. Paul in Division 4. Kickoff at 7 o'clock here on TAPS TV. Thanks so much for watching today. Your final score one last time, 49-18. Geneva School of Boerne, your Division 3 state champions. So long from Panther Stadium, everybody. We'll see you tonight.